Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Fight Night Rising, the first tournament of Set 3. I'm very, very much excited to see what these players can pull out for us here tonight. And of course, alongside me, we have Casanova. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right, buddy. Getting my social distancing in, heading off to another Galaxy as TFT has released Set 3 at Galaxies, letting us get off this planet for a little bit and settle in for some TFT Fight Night action. Got quite the lobby for you guys tonight. Previous champion, returning champion, 3-time champion, Fluffy, gonna be here today. As joining him is gonna be Final DF, current rank 1 Inay, Wrackle, Magarky, Doublezzzz, Sphinx, and Narkez. All going to be rounding out that lobby, and I'm really excited to see what they can do. Excited to see if anyone can take down Fluffy. He's been really dominant in Fight Nights so far.
Yeah, of course. We know you pulled out the stats before about how Fluffy's dominant performance is top 4 rate, but of course, he'll be playing, as well as the rest of these players, for that prize pool, that first place being $100, second place $50, third and fourth being $25, and of course, as always, only the top 3 will be invited back for next week's Fight Night. We have some dope competition here tonight. We got some new players as well. We got Wrackle and Magarky, who I don't believe we have seen yet, but new blood, new set. We'll see if they can, rival the likes of Fluffy and others. We have Narkez here, who's been a winner as well. I think Sphinx has been a winner of Fight Night as well.
Yeah, I believe so. An early on winner, but yeah, if he can make his return today and see if they can rise to the occasion. Once we can get into these first few games. But, Set 3, what kind of comps have you been looking out? I know you've been grinding, and we're grateful to have you here, taking you away from your grind for a second to come shoutcast some games with me tonight. But, yeah, what comps are you thinking these players are going to be going for?
Yeah, so I'm grinding a bunch, and things that I've seen be the most successful, in fact, right now are probably Rebels and Blaster Brawlers. Both things that are, I guess, pretty straightforward to run. The Rebels early game is a bit up in the air. You might take a little bit too much damage, but earlier, Soju, when he was streaming, we've had him on Fight Night before, but he was playing a lot of Rebels and was kind of either first or second placing every single game for about like 9 or 10 games in a row. Soju, very intelligent player, so he knew how to play it, or figure out how to play it through the early and the mid game in order to get that fast 8, find your Aurelion Souls and your Gangplanks and kind of win the game, or at least second place from there. But definitely a strong composition that we will probably be seeing tonight here.
It will be interesting to see, because that is seemingly the top composition right now, and so I do expect a lot of players to be looking for it, but then it becomes a contested composition. And Fluffy in the past has talked about how he doesn't like going for that thing that is most contested. He likes finding something else that can be quite powerful and going for that instead, so that he has a higher odds of getting that very solid composition to ensure that he top 4s. Is there like another composition or even a few compositions you feel can work, or do you think we're going to probably see something new here tonight?
I think others can work. I think Kale is a very strong unit. I think that she can be built around for sort of Blade Master Chrono comp. Infiltrators can work as well. Even seen Sorks with the mech, or just Sorks enabling something else that does a lot of damage. You can enable Misfortune, you can Sork Aurelion Soul, you can Sork Gangplank as well. I think those are things that can be good. But yeah, it is a question of what Fluffy will do here as well, because, say he likes to stray away sometimes from the rest of the pack, but he has picked up a couple of those Ziggs and hits a tier 2 Ziggs already for those Rebels. Maybe we'll choose not to do it, though, is putting in the Brawler Blasters and over the Rebels, 2 of the very good compositions, and he has, units to be able to get both of them here. It's just a matter of what he picks right now.
Yeah, he's got options. I mean, we talked about it just before the broadcast, but one of the ways that you can easily go into Rebels and even start out with Rebels is a tier 2 Ziggs. If you can put something like a Luden's Echo on it as well, it can be a strong enough unit in the early game to help you transition to that comp later on. And well, Fluffy could very well build exactly that if he wanted the Ziggs and decides against it.
Yeah, decides to go for the Blaster Brawlers. Rolled another Yasuo there. It's it's impossible to say whether that was the right or the wrong call. It kind of just depends on how the rest of the game plays out. But Fluffy has made his decision, and we'll see how the rest of the game runs with it. He has some items that will be good for blasters. Can make a Hand of Justice if he wants to, which might be the play. Has half of a Rage Blade and half of a Giant Slayer already. Giant Slayer being one of the items that is preferred on that Jinx carry here. And also to note, reason that Fluffy couldn't pick up all of those to maybe try to go a couple of different comps or at least leave the option open is that the economy that you get in set 3 is a little bit different. You get less gold during the beginning stages of the game, so you actually have to make decisions like, hey, do I want to be able to do I have to sell this unit to go something else, or it's like you have to make a lot of decisions where you wouldn't have to in set 2.
Yeah, in set 2, of course, you would just be able to buy the whole shop generally at this point, and now in set 3, we have to heavily consider what comp you may want to go, even at the start, not being able to have these benches full of pairs that we're used to seeing in set 2. And, on top of that, there's the changes to streaks, making them come online a little bit earlier to maybe compensate that economy loss.
True. I think streaks are very, very important in set 3, regardless of it being a win or loss streak. Obviously, win streaking, especially early game up until Krugs, super good. You'll start getting that +3 gold after just 4 wins in a row. And something that I was watching Soju before I went to bed yesterday, and he was talking about how during the game he was actually making sure that he put a intentionally weaker board in just so that he would secure his loss streak and make extra money. He had like a tier 2 unit but took it out because he wanted to very much make sure he was losing, because economy is just so important.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It does seem like a viable strategy. I mean, I don't know if we'll even get to the extreme of people trying to open fort to an extent. I know, of course, in TFT, open forting isn't entirely possible, as things will get pulled from your bench onto the board. But at least to an extent, like you're mentioning, making a weaker board or even somewhat open forting to secure that loss streak does seem like something we may see, like even selling off extra units in order to find those loss streaks. I'm sure we'll see players get pretty creative as the set moves on, with, of course, that being such a big factor now to the early economy.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say, I have. Open forting has been a thing that has been done in the past with a Blender. People have done it there to secure the spatulas when spatulas were pretty common on the carousel. That's the only time we ever see open forting really be viable. And I think we might not see it be viable until the Galaxy comes out, where you have extra health at the beginning, because they're not putting Galaxies in the game for a couple weeks just to make sure everybody gets used to just set 3 in the standard variants of it. Well, this is a very thing here.
We're in the BF Sword Galaxy right now.
Yeah, not technically a Galaxy, but just something that can happen. That's actually something I dislike, and I'll probably, if it happens again, I might rant about it later. But all the carousels being one item, or at least like one set of items, like there's carousels that might be like sword, tier, rod, or Galaxies that are or not Galaxies, sorry, but carousels that are all defensive items, just like belt, vest, and cloak. It feels really bad when you're like first pick, you're like, okay, I can get an item that I need, then it's just not an item that you need. Personally, not a big fan of that one, but yeah, anyways, what point was I trying to make earlier? On open forting, I think I was talking about?
Yeah, something about open forting, and then there was just a bunch of swords. I don't know.
Open forting, okay, yeah. When the Galaxy comes out, where you start with 125 HP, then maybe we will see open forting actually be an option there, but probably not for now. Again, going back to Soju, actually, I did see Soju yesterday opt to sell a 1 unit on his board, so he was just having a couple rebels in. Like I think his Malphite Ziggs was playing 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 units, just to make sure he secured a little bit more econ, so he can fast 8 and find that Aurelion Soul in GP with enough gold to roll with. Not quite full open forwarding, but a little bit of it.
Yeah, and just with the new set, we want to talk about some of the new synergies that are here. And there's kind of the return of a lot of old synergies as well, right? We have Brawlers back from set 1. Space Pirate feels like a bit of a rework of the original Pirate synergy in set 1 as well. And looking here at Doublezzz's board, he does have Brawler, Space Pirate, and the Dread Nova Darius in with a Shojin. Space Pirates giving you that chance on extra gold when they do get last hits, and of course the Dread Nova Guillotine of Darius gonna allow him to find those resets and give you a better chance at gold if you are winning rounds. But so far hasn't been working out quite yet for Doublezz, losing that last round here, but does have a decently strong board with that Shojin on the Darius, so we might be able to find a couple wins here.
Yeah, I think this board is actually like really strong from Doublezz. Surprised he lost that last round, but 2-2 Darius, it's just can probably clean up and might not kill this Leone here. Oh, it actually hit the Fiora, but didn't kill her either. Man, Darius unfortunately just dying, but usually with a 2-2 Darius at this stage of the game, you're usually going to win streak and farm a lot of gold along the way. Maybe a bit of a positioning error, perhaps, but Wrackle on the other side here, with those cybernetics, those are really working out here. I think cybernetics are very strong during the early game, and we're quite seeing that strength up against Doublezz here.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Doublezz, like you said, his board looks like it should be strong, but that's 2 rounds in a row that he's just not finding the win as he picks up a couple more Darius, maybe looking at that tier 3 Darius. I'm not sure if that's something that we'll see tonight, but man, anytime I get to see a tier 3, I do love to see it. I think it's hilarious, but I'm not sure if this is the route that we will see Doublezz go. But as you were touching on, it may have just been a positioning error because the Darius is pulling way too many attackers, it seems like, and maybe finding a better place to put him. Or it could just be the unlucky who he's running into that's making that happen. But yeah, being able to find the opportunity for Darius to get more kills, generate some more gold for Doublezz in the early game so he can transition into a stronger comp later on. It does find a spatula, though. I mean, go break down. Is there anything interesting that you've seen done with spatulas so far?
I think the most interesting things I've seen done with spatulas during this set are making protectors and making rebels. Going back to the rebel composition I was talking about a bit earlier, if you make Gangplank a rebel, he'll actually one-shot pretty much everything, especially when you get into tier 2 with that 6 rebel composition. But making Protector is also good if you're going, again, actually the rebels with Aurelion Soul. Aurelion Soul casts very frequently with that Starship synergy there, the Starship Origin, I suppose it's called. He'll regenerate mana very quickly and be able to just keep shielding himself, so he'll pretty much never die. You could also give it to a unit like Kaisa if you're happening to go Infiltrators. Kaisa ults very frequently as well, and she will keep shielding herself. Get to tier 3 and she'll pretty much never die. Doublezz here is opting to save it, not making a rebel spat yet. Not quite sure what direction he's going to go into for the mid and the late game, but they're starting to pop off here. Only gets 1 until he dies, so might fall again another round here.
Yeah, he's not really finding the resets that he needs, and I am happy to see, though, my favorite character in the game of TFT, Blitzcrank, has made a return.
Back.
I do hope to see some play out of him. I know you mentioned Brawlers, Blasters, and that can definitely feature a Blitzcrank, so I am hoping, and well, I believe we will certainly be seeing some Blitzcrank tonight. Yeah,
definitely. I'd be very surprised if we see no Blitzcrank. Even towards the end of the game, we see Blitzcrank here on a Infiltrator Brawler board here from Final DF. Blitzcrank has very good synergies, and he's just a good unit. Obviously, you can play around Blitzcrank as he hooks the furthest unit, and you can just put a little unit in the corner that you don't mind getting hooked, but still, with the threat of him and his synergies, makes him a pretty solid unit.
Yep, always messing with your positioning, and also just the fact that, especially in the early game, Blitzcrank pulling a unit generally being able to find the kill on that unit straight away if you're positioned properly does give you a pretty good advantage. We've kind of passed that point though. It is at 5 units on the board where now sometimes that hook doesn't mean as much, but of course still can be a quite powerful unit in the right composition. And as we mentioned already, the brawlers being back and being a rather strong synergy.
Yeah, definitely a rather strong synergy. I'd say also at this stage of the game, Blitzcrank is still probably going to get a decent amount of value, even when there's like a 5 or 6 units on the board, because generally there's going to be players that have to make a sacrifice in terms of either positioning, optimal positioning for them versus positioning for the Blitzcranks. Like positioning versus the Blitzcrank might make their board a little bit weaker as to where it wouldn't normally be. But yeah, when you get to like probably level 7 or 8 is when definitely you can probably pretty easily play around the Blitzcrank. Maybe sometimes it's awkward if you have rebels because you need to position a very specific way. It could get awkward, but then you just put your little rebels you don't really care about in the back. But either way, it's not quite optimal there, and Blitzcrank does force some unoptimal positioning.
Yeah, and final DF though, still his board does look fairly weak compared to the field, and it's reflected in his HP pool. He's already down to 60 as Wrackle is just going to do even more here, and he's going to lose another 10. There has been a slight change to damage as well in this patch. It does seem like there's less damage from the units, more damage from the little legend, and that does ramp up quite heavily as the game does move on.
Yeah, the stage damage, it ramps up very, very heavily as the game goes on. But yeah, it is to a point where you're not that scared if you're taking hits early. Like in set 2, if this was final DF, he'd probably be at like between 30 to 40 HP right now. But recognizing that he can take some hits here to scale up, I'm not sure what exactly he's going for here. He does take a fizz, so might just be going for Infiltrator Mech. Mech Pilot, which is a comp that I've seen a little bit of, has that Annie on the bench, which makes me think that's going to be the play there. Just needs to find a Rumble. Rolls another Fizz as well. And will probably roll in level 6. I have seen this composition be hyper rolled for at 6. Goes to 6 right now, sells that Fizz because doesn't want the bow on it. Starts rolling. Does he keep going though? Is the question.
I wonder if he. I wonder if he waits one more round of econ and then goes really hard.
Yeah, might just roll his access gold even as well and not go below 50, or maybe go to like 40 or something. Has 4 infiltrators right now. The Kaisa is only tier 1 though, only has 1 of those. 2 Shakos, but not itemizing the Shakos.
Yeah, with the damage changes, he might be able to afford to wait a little bit longer before like panic rolling down or hyper rolling all the way down. That Chum the Waters actually was massive, hit quite a few units, and the Fizz might have been a big enough upgrade actually that he's able to find a win. This one's actually very close, but it does look like at the end Doublezzzz will be able to do enough here.
3 items to Darius means it's a little bit more threat now.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and it's hard to quantify. Well, that was the Mech Pilot that we didn't just get
the Rumble.
And yeah, that is going to be the synergy completed, and Mech Pilot, very, very cool synergy. One of the cooler things that they've added here in set 3. These 3 units will be combining to form Voltron, and after it is destroyed, it'll finally they will separate and still be their own units after the fact. But the Voltron is kind of like a Mech Garen from League of Legends. He's got his big ulti that will come down and do kind of this massive execute and AoE damage. We'll see if it actually gets to pop off here, if it goes down too fast. There
we go.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's gonna kill one off.
Not quite enough though.
Yeah, it looks like still gonna get melted down. The Kale in the back, I'm not sure how much damage it's doing now at tier 1, but it is a very strong unit and does look like Magarky might be going for something like that later on. He still is at 100 HP, I believe. So been on quite the win streak and continue to maintain that gold. I mean, looking at this board, 4 Vanguard, 2 Valkyrie, 2 Infiltrator. As we do see the kill in the back, that's one of the Valkyrie that they will be critting on all attacks below 50%.
Yep, I believe so. And that's really good right now with that tier 2 Kaisa, the Shaco there and there for infiltrators as well. I don't think this is a composition that Magarky is going to end the game with? It might be. Maybe 4 Vanguards, 4 Infiltrators is going to be something that is desired, but at least right now it's just playing what's strong, playing what Magarky is going to keep 100 HP with for the longest period of time. 10 win streak is massive. The amount of gold that Magarky has right now is massive. Could very much and very well go fast 8 and roll for a bunch of stuff and keep that 100 HP if that indeed is the route. But we'll have to see. Might choose to go fast 9 even, just because the amount of damage you'll take is going to be less than set 2 until you get to stage, maybe stage 5 or stage 6 even. So definitely go to stage 4 here. Can choose to take. Oh, actually, aggressively levels up to 8 right now. That's
wow,
crazy,
yeah,
but
that's really interesting. I mean, you mentioned fast 9, and we've seen fast 8 before, and this is a very fast 8. This is on 4-1. He's already gone to 8. Could potentially, if he keeps this win streak up, just keep econing. But we'll have to see. I mean, this Kaisa is very strong right now, does have 3 items, Hand of Justice, Static Shift, and the GA. And I mean, this fight didn't even really look that close. He still seems so incredibly strong that maybe he can just econ back up to 50 and go fast 9. I mean, it's very possible. We haven't ever really talked about fast 9, but new set, new me, right? Might as well try something new. Like, we'll see.
Honestly, I think Fast 9 is viable if you have the win streak and just like if you passively roll all your upgrades here, which it seems like Magarky has done, hits that 2-2 Jace right now, even rolls a Gangplank and might sell the Kaisa and just throw those items in. Doesn't quite just do that yet. But yeah, I think Fast 9 again is viable here. I was going to talk about the possibility of Magarky losing some HP in order to go fast 9, but just choose to keep the win streak to regain that gold that way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it for sure. Of course, we talked about the value of win streaks, and in the event that I think you were considering, he would have probably started a loss streak going towards the fast 9, but instead, no, gonna do the level and try and just maintain this. I mean, he's at 11 wins so far, taking down Wrackle, but it's still not looking close in any fight that he runs into. And like you said, naturally rolled into a GP, is going to be able to put that on the board soon here. I'm not sure exactly when it will be optimal because the composition right now does feel very strong. Could potentially get rid of the Dark Star synergy because it's not necessarily the main focal point of the comp, but yeah, it's kind of hard to find the best time to put it in, and finds an Echo as well. So if he does go for 4 Infiltrators later on, he is going to have that Echo available.
Yeah, I wonder. The only thing that GP could really feasibly replace right now, I think, is going to be the Karma. Okay, does put 4 Infiltrators in for losing a couple of the Vanguards here. Takes out the Poppy and takes out the Leona. This is going to buff up Kaisa very, very hard. The front line's a bit weaker though, but is the damage worth it? I guess we'll see here versus
yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out. We're gonna just kind of watch that Kaisa in the back as she goes in with the Kathy and Rain and just firing a lot of damage out, but slowly it looks like, yeah, the front line did drop far too quickly, and I don't think Kaisa's gonna have enough here, so finally gonna lose that win streak, and it's hard to say whether or not the change is the reason that he lost. I mean, Double's composition is very strong, but it did seem like the issue there was just Magarky's front line really just dropping far too quickly, and so I feel like keeping in those Vanguards might have actually made the difference there.
I probably agree with you there. I think, the 4 Infiltrators is pretty cute, but they're just tier 1 Infiltrators. It's an Echo, but he's only tier 1, no items. I definitely would have liked to see that the Vanguard stay in, but that was a Guardian's Angel Gangplank there, probably the single best item on him, and it is on a Gangplank. Doublezzzz picks that one up, so curious to see Doublezzz's composition right now, at least for a round or so, see how he utilizes that one. Magarky here does take a Locket on the Lulu.
Yeah, did find another Echo as well, so that is something we'll have to watch the side for to see if he actually finds that tier 2, but we do see Doublezzzz still on a couple Space Pirates, but he is 4 Blaster, 3 Cybernetic right now.
What's Doublezzzz doing here?
He's okay. I shouldn't talk about his composition anymore because he's just messing around with it. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna end up on. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what we end up on here.
I'm real curious. Puts in Demolitionist here. Sells the Jinx off. Is keeping the Echo as 3 Cybernetics. This is an unorthodox composition when it comes to the meta of set 3 for sure. We'll see how it works out though. The GP does get the ulti off. It stuns everything and takes out everything right there. Holy moly, you see the power of Gangplank, why he's so desired right now.
The orbital there. The orbital comes down, takes down everything, but yeah, that fight ended up fairly close. Double still able to squeeze that one out on that orbital strike from Gangplank, but I mean, just look at these synergies on the side. You know, Demolitionist, Mercenary, which of course is just one unit, but Cybernetic, Chrono Blaster. Now there's Brawlers in, and Demolitionist out. So, you know, it's not really, it's a really fluid composition. Double is just changing the synergies every round. And, well, I did kind of mention at the start that, hey, we might see people just try out things that maybe you or I haven't really seen yet. I mean, maybe we've seen, but maybe we've seen as like a last place composition that busters out really early, but maybe something will arise that works out and people find wins with it because the set's still very new. There was PvE where people did get to test and play on, and a meta has been discovered, but does that meta stay? We'll see. It will remain to be seen whether or not that meta is going to stay completely still for a long time. And the mech pilot for Final DF is getting shredded here, but it stays alive for quite a good amount of time with that GA, and now it's just the Fizz coming out with the Chum. The Waters might actually have done enough. Orbital gonna land down and gonna take it out. GP's just far too strong for Doubles here. What a pickup. I mean, GA GP, like you said, best item you can get on that unit, and well, Doubles was gifted one of them, and he's going to start his comeback here with a 3-win streak.
Wait, Doubles has so many items right now. Wait a minute. He has how many completed items does he have, theoretically? 4, 5, 6, 7 completed items right now on Raptors? Okay, he's definitely not getting any items here. Wait, that's actually so many. And I don't think he played... No, he couldn't have played 4 Space Pirates to get extra items here. I guess Double is just kind of high rolled.
Well, wait, there's a chance maybe that he was playing for Space Pirates earlier, right? Or no, do you need GP for it?
You need GP for that. Yeah. I guess it was a completed item on the carousel where you picked up the GP. I forgot that sometimes you can get that completed item carousel before Raptors. Did get one item there, which kind of is surprising, but does Thieves Gloves the Echo there. That's pretty solid. And it's choosing to roll down, finds another GP, one more before he probably, I'm not going to say wins the game, but could
go for a tier 2 kill. I'm gonna skip that up though, and
doesn't quite want that. Can't really fit that in the composition right now. Larger area upgrade picked up for Gangplank there, so that ultimate will pretty much cover the entire board there. A reminder, you can indeed roll upgrades for your mercenaries in the shops in set 3. Mercenaries being Gangplank and Misfortune. We are seeing the upgrades roll in for that Gangplank right now. RFC goes in the Ezreal, but he gets Zephyr'd. We'll see the GP, just the size of this orbital here.
Yeah, it's the whole board. It's just the whole board. Just everyone's getting orbital. Then this is a tier 1 GP, by the way. That's just wiping boards. Like you said, I don't want to say he's gonna win if he rolls the tier 2 GP. I don't know. I kind of want to say he's just gonna win if he finds that tier 2 GP. This character might need to be toned down a bit in the future, but we'll have to see, because I mean, this is, again, a tier 1 unit, which of course it is a 5 cost, supposed to be quite strong. One-shotting entire boards right now, so...
Yep. Finds the Echo 2 there as well. Yeah, the GP, I guarantee you GP is going to get nerfed or adjusted next patch. There's no world that doesn't happen, I don't think. We're seeing the power of it right here. This isn't even the composition that best enables Gangplank. I would say Rebels does that even better, but Brawlers, everything's just super tanky. The Echo's even freaking frontlined right now. The Cybernetics is going to slap a belt on that Vi there to make her even tankier. That's tier 1 Vi, but she has a couple thousand HP there, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly tanky, and the GP is going to get off that ulti before going into the Guardian Angel state, and Echo's kind of bouncing around trying to finish off the rest of the units, but actually this fight's very close, and it does look like Doubles could even lose, because Irelia is just going to Blade Surge around. picks up a
Ooh.
reset, a couple of resets, and yeah, those Thieves Gloves actually pick some really nice items for Aurelia there.
Oh, yeah.
Getting the Gunblade and the Bloodthirster, and yeah, Doublezzzz is going to lose that round, but Fluffy might be finishing off final DF here.
Yeah, it does.
It does look like he will, but Sphinx goes out first. Yeah. Sphinx in 8th, final DF in 7th.
Another upgrade there picked up. Oh, we see Narkez with the composition that we are talking about here. The Rebels and the Gangplank. And Gangplank even has a Rebel spatula there. I was talking about Doublezzzz might win the game if he hits tier 2 GP, but no, I think Narkez might win the game if he hits tier 2 GP. Maybe even without the tier 2 GP, honestly. He already has Aurelion Soul 2 and has Aurelion Soul's little child there riding on the back, you know, just for good measure there.
Definitely a don't mess with me or my son ever again. As you see the double Yasuo, you know, you got Yasuo and Yon in there as well. He is one Yasuo away from tier 3, so that's actually still gonna be huge, even though it is kind of like a side carry in this composition. But when you already have the Aurelion and you already have the GP, just having a third threat can be massive.
Massive indeed. I saw an MF2 there, but I don't even know if MF2 is going to be enough to deal with that. We'll see this carousel here. Morelos is very, very good for Aurelion Soul. If a player who is running that does acquire that, there's 2 Star Guardian items there. Doublezzzz picks one of those up, Star Guardian. Not sure how he's quite gonna utilize that one. Oh, it's because it's on GP actually.
It is, yeah. It's a tier 2 GP.
I didn't even see the GP.
He has 3 items on GP already, right? So this should
it'll pop off. Yeah, definitely will. I feel like it's a bug if the Star Guardian is one of the items that is remaining on. So yeah, it very much should pop off there. Narkez does pick up the locket. Probably gonna end up locketing that Aurelion Soul, I believe.
Yo, Thief Gloves have been doing well for the Yasuo players recently.
Yeah, definitely.
Picking up just on the last round, he had some very good items. I'm trying to remember exactly what they were, but they were good. They were good, helpful items. This time he's got a Death Blade. It's gonna be nice on the following round.
Yeah, even Ionic is not bad. It doesn't enable Yasuo, but enables the Gangplank and the Aurelion Souls as well. When Narkez on a 7 win streak, and I guess we see why here. He's not even rolling right now. Doesn't even feel the need to. He's just waiting for other players to die, free up those Gangplanks while he's acquiring more gold to win the lobby with. Magarky here has chosen to transition into a tier 2 Misfortune, and it's doing damage, but not quite enough.
Not enough. I mean, just look at the Aurelion Soul. It's still full HP. The GP hasn't even been procced. They're all so tanky in this Rebels comp, and Magarky's going to take a lot of damage from Narkez here. And yeah, like you said, Narkez is kind of primed to win this lobby here. You mentioned how strong Rebels are, and he's got his GP as a Rebel, which is pretty much as ideal as you can ask for, and it's got the GA as well. He's 1 away from the tier 2, likely gonna find it before he dies. I mean, he's at 55 HP, and it doesn't look like he'll lose rounds too soon. So now it comes down to, does Doublezzzz find it first and start putting a lot of damage on a Narkez, or is that even enough? Can that MF start to become even more powerful with maybe the upgrades being found?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I even if Doublezzzz hits a tier 2 Gangplank, I'm not sure it's enough to even be taking out Narkez right now. Looking at bless you, looking at Narkez's composition here, he has 6 rebels in, right? But he has a couple of pairs of multiple rebels in surrounding the Aurelion Soul and majority surrounding the Gangplank. So extra Aurelion Soul in and an extra Yasuo in. So he's going to be buffing up everything. Even takes out Fluffy there.
Died from, I think he was at 15. So it's already starting to reach that point where a lot of these people near the bottom are not safe. You know, Wrackle, Magarky, Inay, they're not safe at all. And even Doublezzzz at 26 probably only has 2 rounds left if he loses.
Yep. Especially going into stage 6 after this that was the dragon round, but it's the Cane round, I guess now. Seeing double, that's a Blade Master item, probably not. Oh, it's gonna be good there. It's gonna give three Blade Master synergy there. But yeah, Narkez Doublezzzz is scouting very. Oh wait,
yeah, Doublezzzz hit the tier 2 GP.
Wait, it actually Star Guardian went onto the thing as well. I feel like it's a bug. I feel like it shouldn't happen that way. I don't know, but because the GA popped off of it. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to happen, but regardless, here we are. it's still a good game. Actually, I don't know. I might have preferred to even have a tier 1 GP with
if it had GA,
yeah, with that GA instead. Goes 9, puts in the demolitionist there. Narkez hits the tier 3 Yasuo, as we see on the side there.
Not even gonna gain the mana benefit of the Star Guardian buff, because of course you don't really run Star Guardians right now. At least I haven't seen much of it. It kind of feels like a scuffed ocean, but it's not something that we see here, and so it's kind of a useless item.
It does give 20 extra starting mana, I guess, which is okay, but yeah, is he gonna even ult? Okay, barely does ult here. Ooh, it's huge.
It might be enough for the round. I mean, the Echo's still up with the Thieves' Gloves, gets one more ult off, but it's going to go down to Inay's Echo on the other side, and the Aurelia Blade surging around. I think that's going to make Doublezz lose that round. Wrackle going to fall, and that's going to make our top 4 here with Doublezz, Magarky, Inay, and Narkez, but I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop Narkez at this point.
I think Narkez just hit a second Aurelion Soul 2 there, I believe. So I don't think anyone can stop Narkez, honestly. Not sure if he hit the GP2 yet, but he is close. Doublezz will probably fall soon, and 3 GPs will be opened up at that point. Yeah, Narkez here.
Oh, he found it. Already. Yeah. And the Yasuo 3.
Yeah, Yasuo upgrade. He's going to have double strikes, double orbital there in the shop. He's not dying this turn, so he's going to get that one next turn. Narkez wins the game right now. There's actually no way he doesn't.
I mean, look at this, the GP. It looks like he found a bigger area as well, and we must have missed that because Doublezz was the one we saw pick up bigger area, but that's definitely a larger area orbital taking down Inay. He's probably gone. Yeah, see Magarky and Doublezz still remaining, but can Doublezz survive another round? I'm not actually sure. Yeah, he actually wins that. Magarky is going to go down instead, and now it's just Doublezz versus Narkez, but yeah, I mean, this looks a little unbalanced. Tier 2 Lulu as well.
Throws the Cassidon in there just for Celestial. Is in the corner hiding out there. And yeah, even with how like scuffed Doublezz is okay, I'm not gonna say it's scuffed. It's slightly scuffed, okay, especially with the Star Guardian going into GP, but he was able to get second place, largely due to just having GP. I think GP is a very, very strong unit right now, and is always going to be contested into the late game.
Yeah, he does seem incredibly powerful. Potentially the strongest unit in the game. Not sure if that's I feel like that's kind of true. I feel like he just is the strongest unit in the game, and well, goodbye, Doublezz. Yeah, not even close, actually.
Starship 2's running around right now. Oh man, that's so insane. Narkez taking game number 1 in dominant fashion there. Congrats to him. He's going to throw 13 points up on the board for himself there. Man, what a game to start off this fight night. Set 3.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely wild. Really showcasing the power of the composition that we talked about in the start, the Rebels. And you mentioned if you can ever Rebel GP, you're in really good shape. And well, guess what Narkez went ahead and did? He Rebelled GP, eventually found that tier 2, all those mercenary upgrades that have been added to the shop as well. And it didn't even look close. And coming in second, Doublezz, seemed like his composition got really carried by just having an early GP. And that is where it starts to seem maybe a little problematic that GP is this good. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if GP remains this dominant throughout the rest of the night, because, of course, Rebels being an incredibly powerful composition could potentially find wins maybe without GP. But generally, of course, GP is going to be a staple that you're going to want to find. But yeah, seeing Doublezz with kind of a cobbled together composition, it seemed like he didn't find exactly what he wanted throughout the game, but he found the GP and he found a nice cast to surround it. So able to take second on that. So really well done by Doublezz, of course, not having maybe the perfect comp that he wanted, but being able to piece it together for a second place finish. It really shows just like a well-played game.
Yeah, even Magarky, third place, 10 points. Not bad, right? Magarky was win streaking for so long, found the MF, but it turns out MF is not as strong as Gangplank there. MF couldn't quite carry as hard. We've had, Sivir and friends, we've Azir and friends, now it's time for Gangplank and friends. That's really the composition that's dominant, at least in this patch, and we'll see if it's dominant in the future, even in the next patches of set 3. Not quite too sure, but we're going into game number 2 here from Doublezzz's point of view, at least for now. Doublezz being that second place last game. A pretty good way to start the game off. Doublezz and everyone else in this lobby does recognize the power. If they weren't aware of it before, they recognize the power of Rebels with Gangplank. So that might be contested a bit more here. You know, Fluffy, the person who didn't, really want to go what everybody else is going, maybe he's going to have to, though. Fluffy tried to play something a bit different and was bottom 4 last game. We talk about Fluffy's top 4 rate and how it's so strong. Here's one to knock him down a little bit here. Fluffy and not starting off the day very strong.
Yeah, and he's at such a high percentage that every time he doesn't top 4, it actually does take a big hit to that percentage of games that he has top 4. But yeah, of course, that's going to be one ticked in the bottom 4 column. One of very few, but one indeed. And we'll see if he continues that streak, or if he can start to come back and keep that top 4 rate just as high as it was when he got here. But he still has, the opportunity to come back and win this. Fluffy, of course, got, I believe it was 6th in the previous game. So at least it wasn't an 8th. Definitely still getting those 5 points. And we've seen people come back from much worse, only game 1. And we'll have to see, like you said, if Fluffy decides to maybe go for those Rebels this time, or he had the option last time to maybe go for that start, but went for the Brawler Blasters instead. And
didn't end up doing it, actually. That's so interesting you bring that up, actually. I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, he had the option to go Rebels early, and it probably would have worked out really well if he did, but ended up trying to go the Blaster route and went 6th place. Had the 2-2 Ziggs early, that probably could have carried him, and we might have seen a Fluffy top 4 there. But as you said, again, it is only game number 1. Fluffy, got 6th. He still can very much come back. On average, Fluffy does top 4 3 out of 4 games in a fight night. So if he top 4 his next 3, then he'll be quite on par for his usual records.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we're going to check in with Inay for the first time. He is currently rank 1 on the NA ladder. Taking a little bit of time out of his grind to come here and play in fight night.
Yeah. And, checking if someone surpassed him yet. Actually, I'm refreshing leaderboards.
Yeah, it's possible.
Still rank 1.
Yeah, it's possible. But he did top 4 that last game, so really showing his talent, his skill that he has right now, and we'll see how he can do for the rest of the night. Potentially, rank 1 NA and first fight night as set 3 champion. Maybe we'll see that. Maybe that could happen later on.
Might even end up maintaining rank 1 all throughout the time, but we'll see here. There's only 3 diamonds in NA right now, I believe. Looking at Inay, Soju, and someone named Doublezzzz. So yeah, not very many diamonds right now. Inay being the proud one to lead the pack here. Already starting off with some Rebels, has the Sona and the Malphites. Just needs one more to get that synergy online. But probably will just end up playing what is strong here, what is going to be the most likely for him to start win streaking. Items aren't great here. Probably don't want to make any of these, which is a little unfortunate. Okay, sells offer. Yeah. Open forwarding, kind of. A little bit.
Well, open fort, right? Like, because this isn't Dota Auto Chess, right? This is, of course, TFT. So this is where the difference comes in, right? You can't fully open fort. He wants these Malphites. It does look like potentially Rebels in the future of Inay. He does want to hang on to these, but he does also want to lose. So sells off the rest of his board, makes 10 gold, and starts this kind of lose streak while holding on to the only units that he really cared about.
Yep, just those Malphites there. I mean, already making 10 gold, pretty good. Oh, rolls more Malphites and rolls Ziggs as well. Probably will take that one, just why not, right? Just slaps that in there. Being able to be on a lose streak right now means he'll get the item of choice probably during the carousel, unless the carousel is one of those ones where it's a full offensive item or defensive item, or just any random singular one item. We'll have to see there, though. But a pretty good start when it comes to Rebels here, however, for Inay.
Do you know the RNG on, is it only the first carousel, or can it be just any
carousel? I think.
Yeah. Gonna throw that. Yeah, so it looks like he might accidentally win here, though. Looking at this is going to be a tier 2 Malphite against no tier 2 units, but it does have the Rebel synergy on the other side with that Yasuo in, which might be enough. Yeah, Ziggs with a red buff going to be a little bit stronger than just the Ziggs with a tier, and does look like Doublezz will be able to beat Inay, and Inay is going to keep his loss streak. Kind of the best case, only one unit alive on the other side, right? Unless he, of course, wanted to take a little bit more damage here for the carousel, but he's got one more round. Does find Rebels here, though, so now it does look like he may be able to win rounds.
Ooh, Demolitionist there picked up by Doublezz as well, 100 HP, and might end up keeping that streak. Yeah, with some Rebels here, this is looking pretty strong. May actually win a round, depends on how much damage Inay's composition is actually able to throw out here, because it's mainly just that big beefy Malphite in the front, only a tier 1 Ziggs and a tier 1 Yasuo, which won't do too much here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Inay doesn't think he'll win with this, or if maybe at this point isn't exactly just looking for a streak right now.
Might win with this.
Yeah, it does look a bit stronger than a Final DF's comp on the other side, and yeah, that Dread Nova Guillotine not going to be doing very much damage at all. Finally gets the reset, but we'll find a little coin. So Final DF ends up getting the coin, even though he loses the round. So it's going to feel pretty nice, and yeah, like you mentioned, Double still on 100. We'll see. Have to keep our eyes there. Sphinx also on 100 right now.
Yep, Doublezz indeed 100 is won that round as well. So on that streak. Sphinx as well on a little bit of a streak. Inay winning that round, but still gets to pick second. That's pretty good there. Definitely wants a rod or a tier, I believe, for that. What's it called, for those rebel items. A vest or a sword would have been okay. I think he had a vest, yeah. So a sword would have been okay to make GA, but yeah, no, just picks that 3-cost rod. Will likely make that into a Ludens. You can put the Ludens onto the Aurelian Soul later on into the game. And it's 3 gold, so pretty happy there if you're Inay.
Yeah, we talked about the Ziggs being the item carrier for that composition, and generally Ludens on a 2-star Ziggs early on can help you kind of bridge that mid-game to find your Rebels later on, and of course he doesn't have the tier 2 Ziggs yet, but that will be the Ludens picked up for Inay, and he's going to just slam that right away, which does, of course, make sense here, and nothing in this shop that looks amazing for him. I'm going to grab the Shens, just kind of hold on to those.
Yeah, Shen's okay. Doublezz grabbed the Yi with the bow. Chose to sell it there for Econ. Doublezz not leveling up, so is not concerned with the streak that much. If I was Doublezz, I might consider leveling up, putting the Blitzcrank in. It does give two brawlers, and Blitzcrank is just a decent unit at this stage of the game. But either Doublezz is okay with losing, or is confident enough that he'll still keep winning.
Yeah, I mean, this is early enough that Blitzcrank is like very powerful at this stage, especially it was in set 1, but it's still, of course, in set 3, going to be powerful early on, being able to essentially negate one of the units that the enemy has. But with this tier 2 Ziggs with the red buff on it and the tier, Doublezz feeling confident, and it might be okay, but Ziggs is already getting gone on by the Lucian, and I don't know if he's going to do quite enough. It depends if he can get this bomb out. Oh, it's going to be really close, but Lucian, he dashes instead of autoing. Oh, and almost. The Ziggs almost got him. The bomb was in air when the real close came through.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, it's over. The Lucian wins, but then I forgot the Demolitionist synergy that Doublezz has, so the bomb stunned the Lucian up for a couple seconds. Then he had the mana, so he dashed instead of autoing, but was still able to clean up that round. Unfortunate for Doublezz there, not keeping the streak. Is on 30 gold right now, though, so not too shabby there. Sphinx, however, still top of the pack here on that win streak. See how long Sphinx is able to do that.
Was that a double Giant Slayer on Fluffy's board? I just saw it like briefly while he was scouting around. I thought I saw 2 Giant Slayers on somebody there.
It might be. I mean, that's pretty good if you're building Jinx and committing to that Jinx. But we will see here.
Okay, yeah, we did just hear word that it actually confirmed my suspicion that there are a double Giant Slayer for Fluffy. So yeah, like you said, maybe we'll see Jinx getting committed to as that. I mean, it's a big commitment of items.
That's already a commitment. It's already a commitment. Yeah, it has to be Jinx. There's no way it's not. Fluffy going to be forcing that Blaster Brawler, unless it's going to be Blasters plus something else. But Yeah, we'll see. Yep, has Lucian for the item carrier as well. Is putting in some brawlers. This is, I think, not quite telling of Fluffy's usual playstyle here. He is kind of has prided himself on being very flexible in the past, but is kind of hard tunneling. I mean, he had the items for it, and if he rolls the jinxes, then he's not going to get punished. Like, he'll probably do well this game. It's just if he happens to get really unlucky and doesn't roll jinxes, like, what's he gonna do, right? Like, it's not really much to do with those giant slayers after that.
That's really interesting you mentioned that, because it is very contrary to the style that we generally see Fluffy play. He generally keeps his options very open, waits for the opportunity where he kind of high rolls into a certain comp and then will commit to it later. But yeah, this time around, very much tunneling in on this Blasters Brawlers. And we'll see if he can find what he needs to make this work.
Yeah, I saw the gold box there, and it dropped units, and I was like, oh, is that going to be some 4 costs? Is that going to be Jinx? But it was 3 costs, unfortunately for Fluffy, so we'll just sell those off. I mean, it's not that bad, right? It's 9 gold. That's really, really good. But yeah, Fluffy going to be going level 6, level 7, you know, rolling for those Jinxes, maybe. You definitely want to be 8 on this composition. Maybe Fluffy can fast 8 because of the power of the Lucian. It's not tier 2 yet, but still double giant slayer is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, going to get smoke screened, missing a bunch of attacks there from Graves, but now still going to be able to try and push through. Eventually going to actually go down. This Graves is pretty powerful. Final DF having those Space Pirates and picks up 3 gold there.
Yeah, 3 extra gold. Wow. That's real good. You know, Final DF on 50 gold right now. Chilled on that, has gotten even more from that round as well, and is higher HP than Fluffy. So Final DF, pretty solid start here in a world where money is pretty hard to acquire. We saw Fluffy there pick up a Cho'Gath, which is huge for the composition as well. Yeah, looking at Sphinx here, 100 HP, still in the lobby here. Has some Valkyries, has the Kha'Zix with a BT. Is he going to be going for infiltrators? It looks like it. Wants to put that Shaco in for something. Probably for the Kale? No? For the, I don't even know what he sold right there. I was not looking at that unit, but...
It looked like maybe... I actually don't know. I
actually
had a GA in the front, but I wasn't sure exactly what it was.
Yeah, regardless.
It looked like either a Jarvan or a Mordekaiser or something like that.
Might have been a Mord, I think, but that's
it's probably a Mord, actually. I think it was Mord.
I think it was Mord, actually. Regardless,
it might have been Mord.
It might have been Mord. Throws the GA on the Kha'Zix, is going to want those items on the Shaco later. So needs to remake that Kha'Zix or find an Echo, which probably won't find an Echo, because I think this composition does like to roll on 6. Sphinx going very aggressively to 6, though. Yeah, finds that mech pirate. So yeah, we will see infiltrators. It is rolling now, actually. Wants to find a rumble. Finds the Annie, finds another Fizz. Not bad.
Yeah, I guess if this is going to be mech pilots, I mean, committing to the tier 2 Annie, then he probably picks up the Fizz. He's just trying to make gold here. But I feel like you do need to be grabbing this and trying to go for those tier 2s.
What's he doing here? Sorks. Wait, what? Dark Stars? I mean, the Dark Stars are all tier 1 no items. Picks up the Fizz.
Yeah.
Wanted to make 30 gold there, I guess, but I'm not sure that was the most efficient way to do it. Sphinx may be going on a loss streak right now until he finds the Shaco 2 and the Kha'Zix to replace that Kha'Zix.
Inay quietly stacking up quite a few rebels here as well.
Yeah, true.
His comp's looking pretty strong. He hasn't lost that much HP going rebels and already has like a lot of rebels. So set himself up pretty well to transition into that late game. Sphinx, of course, dropping from 100 HP, losing a couple of rounds here, and Doublezzzz has maintained 90 after that one loss. But, you know, we'll have to see what items... I mean, I'm trying to think, like, what item he would need, because I don't even know what comp the Sphinx is going for yet. I think it does seem like mech pilots.
He wants an IE for the Shaco. Yeah, it does get that glove taken away, though. Mech pilots will benefit from having tanky items on the mechs, and then just a triple item on that Shaco is going to be the play here. grabs the belt in hopes that it's going to be a tanky item in the future. Does have a belt on the Kaisa already. Could be a Warmugs, or if it gets spat, make it a protector. Is still rolling though. Is saving these karmas for a reason, I'm not quite sure, and has the Luxon as well. Is going to have the Annie in to play the Sorks right now. I would even consider selling off this Kaisa to make Warmog's Annie and then putting the other Kaisa in. We'll see though. Sphinx rolling down to about 30 every single turn here, but not really hitting too much that he wants. Wrackle with the Jinx, 2 good items right now. That Brawler Blaster composition.
The Annie trying to frontline a bit, but getting kind of shredded down by the Jinx. Big Chum the Water is going to deal a lot of damage, but it's not quite going to be enough for Sphinx here. He's still going to lose this round, and Kozik's able to find a couple of unit kills beforehand, save a little bit of damage, but of course, like we mentioned before, most of the damage is kind of ramped into the little legend now.
Yeah. So it does save literally a couple of HP. That's about that. I don't know, Sphinx. I mean, I guess we'll check back in with him later, see how this really progresses, but curious to check. Yeah, let's check in with Wrackle right here. We do see the Blasters and the Brawlers. Has Cybernetics in as well, has that Irelia. Probably will play that. Don't see a reason why not, as it's probably just a better version of that Fiora.
Yeah, scouting around, but it looks like deciding against playing it here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
why.
Yeah, I'm not sure entirely why. Might be looking to sell. I don't.
Maybe wants to not commit the item to Irelia right now. Wants to commit that belt to something else. Is the only thing I can really think of. We see the Brawler Blasters getting blasted there by that mech from Final DF there. So we see another mech infiltrator comp actually. It was Sphinx running that and Final DF running that. So this composition, while I knew it was something that people played, a bit more popular than I would have thought coming into here to tonight.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of them in one game. We did see someone trying to go it in the previous game as well. Just looking at the side here, I do see that Fluffy is on a win streak, and we're gonna head over and check out his board a little bit here. He's got 4 Brawlers, a couple of Space Pirates, a couple of Blasters. We know it's Brawlers Blasters, of course, was going to be the plan here.
Yeah, did sell the Lucian actually and put 1 Giant Slayer on the Darius and 1 onto the Ezreal there. I'm curious as to why exactly that spread. Is keeping a Thresh on the bench now. Might choose to go perhaps for Chronos. No, it does sell it off there. Just needs to roll the Jinxes now though before they're all gone. That's going to be the major concern here for Fluffy. Is level 7, has 50 gold, might fast 8 for it. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Fluffy, of course, like you mentioned, he has to find this Jinx, but he obviously has not rolled it yet, and it has caused him to do this little bit of a split on the items just to maybe help him maintain the win streak. Win a couple of rounds tonight now. I guess eventually probably looking to sell off the Darius and the Ezreal as well later down the line.
Has another Ezreal, so can swap it out if needed, but it's just going to be a little further away from that Ezreal too. Facing Final DF again here, we see, and Fluffy might be strong enough to win though.
Yeah, we'll see if he can beat the mech pilots. We see the Dreadnova Guillotine not quite getting value yet. If it can start ramping up and getting the resets, it might get one on Fizz here.
Ooh, knocked up.
Interrupted by the Chum the Waters. We'll see if he can proc again, but it looks like the Rumble is going to be able to do enough here. That Flame Spitter. Fluffy going to lose his win streak.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Jilgeries here. Darius midair, and then he gets CC'd. It's a huge letdown there. That is interaction that can happen, unfortunately, for Fluffy there. But these mech pilots infiltrators looking pretty strong here. We see Narkez going for 6 cybernetics, it looks like there, has 5 in, and just needs the echo, I believe. So hopefully we'll get that soon. I think that is one of the compositions that might be able to contest Rebels is 6 cybernetics. If you're able to get like a tier 2 echo and a tier 2 Aurelia, both with like perfect items, then maybe. But I have to check in probably later on at level 8, see if Narkez has indeed been able to find all of those. Inay here though, versus Fluffy.
Yeah, Inay having those rebels, and Darius not really able to punch through. He's kind of fallen off quite a bit at this point, and Fluffy's struggling to find the wins, but the Cho'Gath going to get a massive rupture, which might be able to turn this around a little bit. It is just kind of this Malphite left, and he's not really doing a whole lot of damage. He's just eating damage himself, so
Yeah,
Fluffy going
doesn't
to
have
lose
damage.
quite a bit of HP yet again, as Inay is going to take that. And Fluffy, like you mentioned, he kind of hard committed to this composition, and
Yeah.
you said if he ever missed Jinx, then
Okay, there it is.
well, he would be in a lot of trouble. And until just now,
Huh.
he's been missing Jinx.
Chooses to commit the Ezreal 2 with the Giant Slayer on, so hits a GP. That can't really fit in right now though with this oh, okay. Is gonna run 4 Space Pirates for now, I guess? Yeah, might just want to be farming up some extra items while he has the HP to do so. I think that's pretty smart from Fluffy here. If he does get item drops for Space Pirates, if they get killing blows, let's give a 10% chance to give a item component.
Yeah, I mean, even if he finds one item component,
Yeah, then it's worth.
in the next like 2 to 3 rounds.
Oh, there it is.
my
There's a
God.
sword.
I mean, that's huge. That's huge. Like he found
Yeah.
like 3 gold and a sword on this round. So already doing this even one round paid off.
I think so, yeah. I agree. I think that the HP trade for the item is worth it every time.
No armor.
Doesn't
Do I make a
have-
Slayer? Like what the fuck is this?
doesn't have a GA component here to make GA, but he'll probably just make another Giant Slayer if he is coming to the Jinx. Runs past it, gets the rod. Maybe Fluffy is transitioning here.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
Fluffy
mean,
is transitioning away from the Jinx.
Insane if you didn't get interrupted.
we do laud Fluffy for being very flexible, and he hasn't been hitting the Jinx. He, of course, found one.
He has
Fine,
one,
he did
yeah,
find
that's
one.
it.
But unless he hits it very soon, maybe we see him go for something completely different. I mean, is there any other comp that these Giant Slayers even work, or do you think that's why he's trying to search and fish for these additional items?
Faster impact, not the best, so he might skip that. Does take it, okay. Okay, so I'm not actually sure. What comp can he go into? He could run just 2 blasters and have the Giant Slayers on the 2 blasters. Okay, he does make Morellos. That's what he wanted to do there. He's continuing to run the 4 Space Pirates, wants to farm more item components. Might make a Shojin on the GP and then have the extra sword for a potential GA. There is the Raptor round, so there's still more items potentially. Narkez though does find the 6 cybernetics, I believe. Yeah, it does have 6, has the echo.
Yeah, it's not even about winning the round right now for Fluffy. It's can he find an item component? And there's some gold. There's more kills to be had. It doesn't look like there's
No.
any Space Pirates left alive, so
Is not, unfortunately. Kills off most of the units there though, but how much HP can Fluffy sacrifice with searching for these items? And does he even commit to 4 Space Pirates for long? Does he transition back into the blasters? So many questions right now, and I'm just curious to see the outcome here.
yeah, I'm really interested to see how he plays this out. I know we do see Final DF and Sphinx going on win streaks as well, but tier 2 Cho'Gath picked up.
Yeah, that's
so
like I was
probably
gonna
gonna play
Blitz
that,
or
yeah.
the maybe the Malphite, yeah, or the Darius. Does he choose to make the swap
That
happen
4
right
bums.
now? There's 3 Space Pirates in here. What are you gonna take out, Fluffy? I think it's the Malphite. Okay, it is the Malphite there. Puts the tier onto the GP there. Just wants to get his ult off a bit faster. There's so many swords that Fluffy has here. There's actually like four swords worth of items. 2 Giant Slayers and then 2 swords on the bench here. Going up against Sphinx, who is not mech, but is 4 infiltrators and has the items on the Shaco there. Ooh,
He found
oh
my god, that's huge.
That's disgusting, actually.
He finds the GA component, and he's still finding gold. It's got Space Pirates left over.
Yeah.
Sphinx, maybe the Shaco wins the round with the BT, but at the end of the day, Fluffy really
wait.
did win this round, but that's going to be, yeah. The Shaco's still going to get it. If you're Fluffy, you don't care that you lost that. You're still on a lose streak. You're making gold, and you just got a GA.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
All right.
disgusting.
My prediction for Fluffy's transition there is he goes 4 blasters, Gravesing one of them, keeps GP in, has GA, Shojin, Morelos on GP, is able to go to 9 there, goes 9 and puts in 4 brawlers and 4 blasters and keeps the GP as the 9th unit. I think that's what I would do if I was in that scenario. And I think that's my prediction for Fluffy, but we'll see obviously, but I think that sounds probably the best.
Yeah, I mean, unless Fluffy still can't find wins here very soon, then we'll have to keep checking in with him and see if that's where he goes. But for right now, we'll look at our previous lobby winner with Narkez.
Yep, 6 cybernetics, not too bad. It's on a 2-win streak here. Is going to keep rolling as opposed to going to 9, trying to find more upgrades. Finds another Irelia there. There is a Kale too, but that's just the Kale's on the bench, so probably doesn't want that. There's a GP. Takes that one instantly.
Yeah, everyone buying GPs. Well, Narkez does have a single GP already, so looking for the upgrade to tier 2. I mean, of course, it's always the race to tier 2 GP. And we'll have to see who can find the first one. But yeah, still on the other side, you know, Magarky has joined the win streakers.
Yeah, indeed, Magarky. Haven't seen Magarky's comp in a little bit there.
Oh, doubles.
Items being delegated.
Doubles tier 2 GP.
Oh, doubles once again. That's gonna be a lot of damage, and it takes out the whole entire board besides the Lucian MF. Barely still winning though, but man, Gangplank.
Balanced.
Gangplank. Holy moly. What a champion.
Yeah, they're gonna have to take a look at him over in the patch notes Galaxy and see what happens there.
Yep.
But yeah, GP, it's gonna be
Rebels.
kind of telling to see who wins the game by who can find enough GPs. And yeah, like you mentioned, Magarky here on the win streak has kind of transitioned into the 6 Rebels. Instead of a GP, has the MF, a less contested unit. Still very powerful though, and it does have good items. And Lulu, and you've mentioned ideally you have Lulu GP, so this is just MF instead of GP.
Yeah. It's MF instead of GP. If he finds GP, might want to sell the MF in favor of that, because MF's not going to be good versus these couple infiltrator comps. She might get an LT off, but yeah, she just dies. You know, she reses from GA, but dead again. Definitely wants that to be a GP, because when he casts ultimate, it goes off regardless, and it's going to kill all the infiltrators, probably. Some Magarky going a little bit low here. Caster's Curse, maybe a little bit. That win streak ending. Keeps rolling, though. Finds shield upgrade for MF. It's not bad.
Might help against these infiltrators a little bit.
Yeah.
At least it can't hurt, obviously, as
definitely doesn't hurt, but doesn't have the gold for it, though. Needs a Jinx 2, needs MF 2, and needs Lulu 2. Has Aurelion Soul 2, which is great and all, but man,
yeah,
maybe I would consider selling this MF and just putting the items on Aurelion Soul, actually. I think I would do that.
Yep. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, it also allows for them to buy
the shield upgrade.
Yeah, buy the shield upgrade. Does go for the GA still onto the MF. The Aurelion going to be critting.
Oh, man. Okay, that was a close fight. Fluffy winning that one. Fluffy did find the Jinx too.
Yeah, we might want to check with Fluffy's board when we get a chance, just because we were talking about him quite a bit, and it does look like he finally has settled into a composition.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what he really decided on. Did he go for what you predicted? Of course, he's not 9 yet, but he could be looking for 9 soon. And
Magarky Seraphs, that's huge, actually. The Seraphs here.
That'll be massive. And Wrackle grabbing a... Grabbing on stick cap. Fluffy getting a Dragon's Claw. We see a Blade Master item for Narkez.
What composition was Narkez running? He's running Cybernetics.
He's the Cybernetics. Yeah, 6 Cybernetics.
So we'll be able to proc Blade Master there, probably with the Fiora, Aurelia, and then that BM item. I do want to see Aurelion Soul in the center of these Rebels right now for him to be buffed up. I think Magarky is recognizing that. But we'll have to see. Really want to swap that? Yep, okay, swaps into the middle, because it will get buffed through all the Rebels surrounding it. Jinx will only get buffed a little bit, but Jinx is only... oh, no, the Seraphs goes on the MF. I wanted the Seraphs to be on that Aurelion Soul. Oh, man. Wait, actually, I just hate the MF in this comp right now. I just want to sell the MF and put GA.
You think the MF is just kind of ruining the Aurelion?
Yeah, I actually think so. Like, I want.
It's like a big bait right now for Magarky.
Like MF actually doesn't do anything. Okay, it provides 2 blasters, but it's gonna ulti and like actually not do anything. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
we'll
let's
see against Wrackle right now, and we'll see if this MF ult can do a lot. And it's finally gonna pop off with the bullet time, and it gets stopped by the Wukong. Oh no, the Trap Claw.
Yeah,
I think it was the Trap Claw, not the Wukong that actually got it there.
Still losing rounds. Magarky, no.
Yeah, the shield though.
But
No, she salts in one direction, and the Lucian's gonna take her down, and Magarky dropping down to 6. Sell the MF. Do it, Magarky.
Do it right now. This is your last chance. Sell it. It'd be so good for that GA to be on the Jinx and for that Seraph to be on the Aurelion Soul.
Yeah, and the tier 2 Lulu. He hovered it.
Oh yes, he's gonna do
it. No, he's not gonna do it. He only has 20 seconds.
He's looking at the damage. It's like, oh, I'm doing a decent amount of damage. Maybe I should keep it. No, okay, he's doing it. He's gonna do it.
10 seconds, Magarky. You have to decide.
Make the choice. No.
Sell the MF.
Okay, Magarky's made a decision. We'll see if it was the correct one or not. Facing up against Narkez near the cybernetics.
We'll get some nice results-based analysis to see whether or not this worked out for him. As, he's going, like you said, against the cybernetics, and the blade surge coming through into the back line. Gonna get stunned up, and the bullet time really didn't do enough damage. He's just gonna go down, and now it's just Aurelion, but he dies with Magarky.
I'm disappointed.
He's gonna go down. He's going out in 7th. Doublezzzz actually 8th from 2nd in the previous game, but
man.
Yeah, we'll check back in with Fluffy here, as we did want to see where he kind of went with all this. And he is on 4 Blaster, 3 Brawler, 2 Space Pirate, so we will expect to see that 4th Brawler come in when he hits level 9, but for now, taking it a little bit slow to reaching that.
Oh yeah, this is actually what I said that Fluffy would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So glad to see that. Man, the MF wasn't sold. I'm over it. It's fine. I'm over it. Okay, moving on.
Are you over it? Do you need
I'm
to
not. That's actually like a 7th place play versus like a potentially like top 4 play. I think is selling that. I mean, MF on paper, great, but that's not the comp for it. It's just not the comp for it. Rebels enables GP, but doesn't really enable MF. Enables GP and Aurelion Soul. Had the tier 2 Lulu, like everything was perfect. Besides for that, didn't find the GP obviously, unfortunately, but. Yeah, either way, here we are now. We're at Fluffy's board, finding in another Ionic Spark. Probably will shove that onto the Cho'Gath as well for double Ionics there. Or maybe not, actually. We'll see. I don't think.
Yeah, this looks like maybe like the that. 9. It has enough gold to go 9 here if he wants to get the Brawlers in. And yeah, it will be 9 here. I'm just going to put in that tier 2 Malphite. And yeah, 4 Brawlers, 4 Blasters. So Fluffy's been forcing this comp a lot, but this time it looks a lot better for him.
Mm-hmm. Definitely it looks huge. Not sure if he'll be able to beat Narkez. I don't know, maybe. Okay, does opt to not go for Brawlers, but goes Demolitionist instead, so the GP will stun everything. I'm not sure how many upgrades that Fluffy has for the GP right now, but I guess we'll see right here which ones he has. Versus Wrackle here, who's also going Blasters.
Yeah, I mean, that Flame Spitter, you're going to get a lot of stuns out. And of course, that was a massive rupture from Cho'Gath on the other side. And so, yeah, I mean, Fluffy looking really, really strong right now.
Yeah,
Wrackle,
the GP didn't even go
out 6th. Yeah, the GP it came down, but after everything had died, yeah, the rupture was enough with the normal damage coming in from Jinx and that Flame Spitter from Rumble. And I mean, Fluffy's comp just looks really good. This kind of all came together. It looked really rough in the middle, in the mid game, just not ever hitting the Jinx, but he finally did find the tier 2 Jinx and got that GP early enough and got it in. Those extra items, I mean, really, the heads up clutch play from Fluffy here really was that 4 Space Pirates.
Yeah, for sure.
That with a strong enough comp that he could find at least a few kills. He knew he had the HP to spare, and he found 2 items off it, and that's huge. He found the GA components.
Yeah, I mean, finding a sword and a vest is like kind of high roll, especially it's only 10% chance to get any item component if you get a kill, let alone getting the exact 2 that you really need for the GP. So a little bit high roll there, but still, no, a really good heads up play by Fluffy there. It worked out very, very well. It might lose this round. Actually, no, the GP still has GA.
Yeah, but that's a
Nope.
tier 3 Rumble.
Tier 3 Rumble, yeah, it's pretty strong actually. Damn, Fluffy losing to that.
It's a really strong unit. So this mech pilot from Final DF actually looking really good. Mainly due to that tier 3 Rumble though.
Yeah, no, tier 3 Rumble is so insane. Even when the mech dies, just getting through that beast of a unit there. Narkez, 6 cybernetics, 3 blade masters, and has the GP in there as well. Fluffy getting a top 4, so we can add a +1 to that top 4 rate from Fluffy here. Even if he does go out in 4th here, which I mean, his comp's so strong.
His comp's so strong, but the fact is he might go out in 4th. Yeah. Looking at the rest of the field, I mean, Sphinx is maybe who he wants to hit. Because Narkez on the cybernetics, this one's going to be close if it's Fluffy versus Narkez, and it is. I think this is going to be a pretty close fight. I'm not sure exactly who's going to come out, but the tier 2 GP is really scary, and I think he rolled damage on that that Hand of Justice, but he gets stunned. He gets stunned. He's not actually going to ult, maybe?
No, he's not.
Goes down.
Wow, Narkez going down. That Ezreal EMP actually made it so that he needed 40% more mana to cast, and so he wasn't able to. Sphinx dropping as well, so all of a sudden we have our top 2 here between Fluffy and Final DF.
It was 2 things. It was the Demolitionist that Fluffy had put in, putting the stun onto GP, which bought time for that EMP to come out. But yeah, Final DF sniping away that GP with the death cap.
I really wonder what he typed right there. I'm really curious. Can't see it, but oh, he said you can't have it. Jules is telling us. Thank you, Jules. But yeah. All right. It puts the GP in for the Demolitionist, and that's going to be pretty good there.
Oh, especially with the tier 3 Rumble. Oh, no.
Yeah, tier 3 Rumble. Oh, man. Is 1 away from Shaco 3 as well. Man, we saw 2 mech pilot infiltrator players in the top 3, right? Yeah, Narkez with cybernetics, Sphinx, and Final DF were mech pilot infiltrators. So maybe a composition that's going to be, solidifying itself as a top 3.
Yeah, no rebels.
Rebels and Brawler Blasters. Yeah, no rebels, actually.
I mean, someone played it, but it didn't. No rebels in the top 4. Wow, the mech pilot doing a lot of work here.
Yeah.
Fluffy is in quite a bit of trouble because now just a tier 3 Rumble pops out. And yeah, that's going to do it. Final DF going to take this take this lobby and going to go from 7th to 1st here. Very well played with the mech pilot. I mean, it's really, I love, like I said in the past, I really do love seeing tier 3 units. I think it's just exciting when you get to see that gold unit come out. And I mean, Rumble being an amazing one to have at that, incredibly tanky, does a ton of damage, and it comes out late because it gives you the mech pilot first off. So suddenly you've just got this tier 3 Rumble drop down onto the field, and Final DF going to find the win off of that. Fluffy going to take 2nd and move his way up the standings, because right now, if you take a look here, Narkez holding on to 1st with top 4 in both games.
Yep, again, the only player to have top 4 in both games after 2. You say that every single week, actually. But
in recent weeks, I think we have.
But no, I mean, it's working out. Narkez, 21 points right here. Fluffy and Final DF tied for 2nd with 17 points. Both had very, very good finishes. So, winning is within reach of, I mean, everybody right now. Wrackle, unfortunately, a couple bottom 4s there, though. Needs a bit of work before he's able to climb back up there. Hopefully he'll be able to. But man, it's been 2 exciting games here, but we have to take a short break before we get into the next 2. But I'm very excited to see if these players, what these players can be pulling out over the next 2 couple of games. We'll see you in just a few moments. Stick with us. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's Fight Night Rising, the first of set 3. We've had a couple of really strong games here tonight. Casanova, how you been enjoying the games? How have you been enjoying the new set?
Everything has been great here in the Fight Night Galaxy, a sub-galaxy of the Giant Slayer Galaxy, and It's been pretty great so far. I mean, we saw what we expected out of the Rebels coming in the first game, finding the victory, but in the second game, no Rebels even in the top 4. Instead, we had a couple of mech pilots really popping off there, showing what they can do. Of course, Fluffy still did make it all the way to second with Blaster Brawler, which was another composition we had talked about. But still, mech pilots, I love to see a composition we really didn't expect to have as much success, having 2 representatives in the top 4 of that lobby.
Yeah, definitely. And we had one in game number 1 as well. I don't remember their placement exactly, but we see the strength of that composition here. I knew it was one that had potential, might have been among like the top 5 of the strongest comps right now, but maybe it's even solidifying itself as some of the top 3. and we saw Cybernetics as well get into the top 4. That's a decent composition, but it kind of relies on a lot of high rolling and getting, you high roll your units and items, whereas for some other compositions, you really only need to high roll one or the other, or just get decent on a couple of ones. But this is also a carousel that is pretty common, where you get just only 3 items, but like 3 of 3 items. So there's like 3 tiers, 3 swords, and 3 rods here. Not bad. I don't mind this if it's starting out, because it gives everyone kind of the same even playing field. But when it's like these kind of carousels and the later carousels, it feels really awkward. But Fluffy is choosing to pick up a rod from the start here. Maybe gonna be going those blasters again. I mean, it's the composition that Fluffy, I think, has played a couple of games in a row now. Brawler Blaster. So we'll see if that's just what I think he's comfortable with, or if that's just what he thinks is best. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it also could be that consideration of Fluffy, maybe coming in expecting the field to heavily favor Rebels and wanting to go for something that maybe people wouldn't be forcing as much.
Yeah.
And that has been a strategy he's talked about, but he has kind of pigeonholed himself into the Brawler Blasters more than we've come to expect from Fluffy. And it hurt him in the first game, but of course in the second game we just saw he did get second place. So we'll have to see how he does moving forward, being that kind of titan of Fight Night with such an incredible win rate before this Fight Night, having a 70% top 4 rate, which is absolutely insane and shows why he's a 3-time Fight Night champion.
Yeah, of course. Fluffy, very, very strong player. I mean, has, that bottom 4 to start, but maybe can get top 4 in the rest of these games and kind of preserve that win rate there. We shall see. Getting an Ari there from that box. Probably not going to be what he keeps. Well, it will be for now, at least. Finding 2 more TFs as well. Hey, maybe this is a sort kind of game.
Yeah, Sork Star Guardian, that'd be something new.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I think Sork mechs can work as well. Buffing that mech up, make it really tanky to where it gets ult off. The Sork spell power just makes it kind of one-shot everything, or at least deal a bunch of damage to it. I'm not sure exactly where Sorks rank up in terms of the strength of their composition, but it's definitely not as good as Rebels and Brawler Blasters, and probably not as good as Mech Pilot Infiltrators, considering Mech Pilot Infiltrators will counter Sorks. But it may be just under that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about TFT is if you high roll enough, a lot of things can be good, but generally you'd have to commit to it for that to even happen. And I don't know if Fluffy is going to commit to some kind of sort composition, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Well, Fluffy does want to commit to here is this Malphite and Lucian probably might sell that Rakan off, because those are some brawlers and some blasters, so yeah. Doing just that, and look what he has in the bench in terms of items. That is a sword and a bow for a potential Giant Slayer there. So maybe it won't make it right now, but might transition into that in the near future.
Yeah, I mean, Fluffy looking at the remix here, not sure if he wants to commit the Giant Slayers as early as he did previously. Maybe a little bit worried about running into a similar issue of last game. He probably feels a little bit lucky to have pulled that one out after such a bad start. But it's still looking pretty good so far. TF going to send out the wild cards, going to survive the dunk and keep on this little bit of a win streak. But of course, I'm not sure if Fluffy is high rolling enough to set up a massive win streak here.
Hits a T2 Fiora, not bad. Narkez here is going for the open fort again. Well, not quite true open fort. Only had 2 units in there to make 10 gold, but now it's on 15. Has another Ziggs in there and potential for a Lucian as well. A couple of swords and a rod. Can definitely be very strong for either Brawler, Blaster, or Rebels. Obviously, there's more comps than just those 2, but those are the 2 that I think people are focusing on. Hey, maybe Mech Pilot Infiltrators, actually. Those are good items for that as well. You can put Ionic on the Mech Pilot, and you can have Shaco with IE and GA and Bloodthirster. You need 3 swords for that Shaco. Perfect items. Double's making a Seraphs already. With the
Seraph
Ziggs.
on the Ziggs, going to have that as kind of the item carrier for him. Yeah. Maybe ends up being a Rebels comp later on. Seraph, of course, good for that composition.
Yep, very, very good for that Aurelion Soul. Yeah. Taking out a couple of units there. Kaisa was left at the end. Doublezzzz rolls not great units here. Might play the Mordekaiser though for Vanguards, I would assume. No, wants to play some Chronos, it looks like, instead. Has the Poppy for Vanguards, potentially, as well. And is going to play the Vanguards, but in the form of Poppy Leona instead. Okay.
Yeah, deciding against the Mordekaiser.
Yep.
Of course,
not enough
making
gold for everything.
gold here. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We are in the Poverty Galaxy.
Actually, though, this is permanently set 3 as the Poverty Galaxy.
Poverty Galaxy. No
Narkez,
gold allowed.
Yeah, Narkez did have 10 gold there after 2-1, so is the only person kind of not in the Poverty Galaxy trying to escape that one. Wrackle, though, has some Rebels in here and has some Kaisa. Kaisa not going to be enough to deal threatening damage, though, as Doublezzzz does win that round. So we went win, loss, win. Not great in terms of streaking, though. That's going to be pretty bad in terms of gold generation. But is preserving his HP a little bit, I suppose. There's a spat. You don't usually see one spat on carousel.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody planning on going Rebels decides that they may want that spatula. It's a $1 spatula, so it's kind of looking like a lot of people are avoiding it
like,
right now.
It's like good, but it's also bad, but it's also good. Inay, though, does choose to take the spat.
Yeah.
Inay, being rank 1 right now, has a good grasp of the meta, obviously, so knows what to do with that spatula. I have to check in later and see where exactly that does go to.
Yeah, it feels like, especially a $1 spat, feels like sacrificing a lot of power now for a lot of power later in the game. And Inay, of course, feeling pretty comfortable with his ability to make it to that late game, going to pick that up.
Yeah.
And, well, you know, if it wasn't obvious from picking up the spat, you go ahead and look at this composition here. And what can you make out from this one, Khroen? Yeah.
That's a lot of Rebels there. Hey, that's definitely going to be, if he finds the vest, going to be a Rebel spat on that gangplank. Has 20 gold right now, which is not bad. Pretty good, actually, on 2-5. 20 gold, especially in terms of the current economy of set 3. Double checking, Inay still is rank 1. There is another Diamond player, actually, Solus. We've seen him on Fight Night before. He's now Diamond as well. But Inay still rank 1, so gonna be making rank 1 plays here with that spatula, hopefully.
Yeah, and I mean, it does seem obvious that a Rebels player would pick that up, but of course, you do still have to have the confidence to make it to that point in the game where it's going to really pay off, and Inay has that confidence here, and even though he doesn't have many items right now, I'm trying to, we'll have to see when it goes back exactly how many items he had already.
4 total now, so he had 3 before.
So he's got the Ionic as well as the crit glove on the Ziggs.
Did actually choose to make Ionic early, which is not something you see that often with Rebel players. Usually you want that rod to be either a Ludens or a Morello's for that Aurelian Soul, but I guess Ionic is decent for either the GP or the Aurelian Soul, which is why he slammed that item, I suppose. And it's going to be a little bit stronger than, you know, not making any items in the early game here. Slapping on that Ziggs, giving him the glove as well for some extra stats there. So,
yeah, gonna help him save HP as well to reach that point when he can be playing the spatula. Of course, he's gonna have to find the additional item for it to make Rebel, like you mentioned, but can potentially find that off of a carousel later. And his composition is already kind of strong enough to find a couple round wins, and he's going up against Fluffy here, and the Malphite is so tanky at tier 2, and Zig's able to find the kills here with just these bombs.
Malphite and his son, big tanks there. Ziggs 1 and Sona 1. Sona healing a little bit there. And it's enough to, you know, take some round wins on a 3-win streak now, going into Krugs. Finds another Malphite, so his Malphite and his brother right there. 2 Ezreals in the roll there, but not something that Inay really wants, though. We'll probably opt for gold instead. Looking at Sphinx here, who's the lobby leader in terms of HP, running cybernetics. Has some decent units in here. Fiora 2, Lucian 1, Vi 1.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that cybernetics is a very high rolling comp, and for those who haven't played much set 3, I mean, one of the reasons for that is in order for cybernetics to gain value out of their synergy, they have to have 1 item on them. So being able to find those very powerful items that you can actually place onto those cybernetic units and then be able to kind of spread them around and also high roll those units so they are strong enough does require quite a bit to make the comp kind of reach that final form where it is very strong.
Yep, I'm getting these bows here. I don't think those are items that Sphinx really wants to see. Bows are not generally items that the Aurelia or the Echo really want. So it's probably just going to be slapped onto any other random cybernetic. What does he still need? Needs Aurelia and Echo. So might just slam that on the Leona there, just to give her the extra AP and the AD. Or sorry, the
HP, yeah,
HP and AD, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you are just going to throw any of your misc items on just the other cybernetics in order to give them the buff, because the buff is massive. I mean, it's a large amount of HP, it's a large amount of attack damage, and so it does make sense to make sure all your cybernetics do have items on them.
Yep, does choose to run the Kale right now. I think Kale's a solid unit that we haven't seen too much of, but it's run in there because it doesn't take out 3 cybernetic synergy. And it's going to be doing a little bit of damage here. Kha'Zix does jump on it, though, and takes out the kill very quickly. But Sphinx, the rest of the composition, still strong enough to net that win.
Yeah, going to be able to find that one. Is Sphinx going to stay on this massive win streak here? 6 wins, 100 HP. Doing quite well for himself. The cybernetics are proving very powerful, especially in the early mid-game.
That's a Jinx roll there. Curious to see if he ends up taking that. Narkez, though, yeah, I actually did want to check in with Narkez because Narkez is actually rolling right now. Is chosen to I don't even know what he's going right now. What is he going? Hyper rolling for Vanguards, Lucians, Space Pirates, Cybernetics. He got it all. What's he doing here?
I'm really trying to figure it out right now, but I see, of course, we've got some Space Pirates in. The early Vanguards, maybe just looking to try and econ back up with these Space Pirates, selling off a lot of the things that he did buy. Yeah, that Dunk's not going to do anything here, and now it's just down to the Graves to see if he can make any gold, but that's not going to happen for him. Lucian not quite doing enough either. But this is Sphinx, of course, who does have an incredibly strong board, so maybe this will work a little bit better against another opponent for Narkez. But yeah, Sphinx going to stay on that win streak.
Yeah, I'm really confused why Narkez rolled down there. I don't, maybe he just didn't hit what he wanted to hit there. It's a new set, so he definitely has a plan that I'm not thinking of, but isn't at least working out for now. Facing up against Sphinx, rolls Graves too. I guess that's okay. Maybe he was rolling Cybernetics. I don't even know. I'm really at a loss right now. Do kind of want to check in with maybe Magarky or Inay here. Magarky on a win streak. Maybe see what Magarky is running here, and it is just a few cybernetics in the early game here. Has made a Giant Slayer and has a Jinx on the bench, so going to be looking to go some Brawler Blasters probably.
Yeah, it does seem that way, and using cybernetics to bridge the gap, it has seemed to be one of the more powerful things you can run in the early game, as well as mid game if you plan on continuing to run those cybernetics throughout. But yeah, definitely very powerful early on, and it looks like Magarky's going to go up against Narkez, but the Blitzcrank going to pull in the Giant Slayer Lucian.
Yeah, same items on both Lucians, but wait, is Lucian 1 better than Lucian 2 here in terms of the comp? I guess so. I thought Lucian 2 would win that fight, but Lucian 1 OP.
Yeah, and it's up to the Poppy. Throwing the buckler. Not going to be enough, though, and
not quite.
Narkez is going to take a little bit of damage here from Magarky on his win streak.
Yep. Narkez under 50 HP on round 3 carousel. Don't see that very often during this set, but we see it here. Another singular spatula, though. Final DF yoinks that one real quick. We see Narkez running for this Aurelia. Yeah, Aurelia with the...
Interestingly enough, that was on a Fizz, and Final DF's been the one who's been running mech pilots every single lobby.
Yeah, what is Final DF running here? I don't know.
So I wonder if he is Rebels and going for that spatula, because that's the obvious one, right? Is obviously you want Rebels and you want the spatula, but I do wonder that being on a Fizz, just part of me is thinking that maybe Final DF, who's been going after these mech pilots every time, might be going for something a little different here.
Hey, I see some infiltrators and some mechs here.
Yeah, well,
that's crazy.
Looks like my hunch might have been correct here.
Actually has 2 spats, is making a fun.
Okay.
Interesting. I was curious if Final DF would have chosen to make an infiltrator item, so as to not having to run to Kha'Zix during the late game, but running something else instead. I don't know, Mystics or just Sword. I don't know, anything kind of. But Final DF making the Fawn. The problem with that is that if Final DF does want 3 items in the mech pilot, Fawn might be one of them. So maybe selling that Fizz off to just get the Fawn off of it for later. But right now it doesn't have 3 mech pilots, so I don't have to worry about that. Wouldn't have 3 items on it regardless. Facing up against doubles here though.
Yeah, that is kind of a that is an unfortunate side effect of grabbing the spat with the Fizz, but does get the Fizz, and so that is going to be nice for Final DF to have that later on.
I mean, it was pretty good there. I mean, making the Fawn, making all those units, won that round pretty decisively. I believe it was versus doubles, but
yeah, it was doubles there.
Yeah, Magarky. Oh, with that, Lucian's 2 and these Vanguard Space Pirate Cybernetics. Pretty strong here. It's on a 5 win streak, in fact. And it's just going to be looking to hold those brawlers, hold those blasters, and put those in later on. This is a really good start here. This needs a couple more jinxes. Already having 1 at level 6 is very, very, very good.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, what is the round for the Rebels comp that you generally like to be going for that 8 to try and find your GP? Does it kind of depend on your early game more so than anything, or does it kind of feel at all like a P.I.B.A. comp where you've got a round that you really go for it?
It's a P.I.B.A. round. It's 4-3. You roll for Rebels.
All right. Well, then we're gonna have to check in with Inay on the P.I.B.A. round, which I don't, is it gonna remain the P.I.B.A. round? Is it still forever the P.I.B.A. round at 4-3?
I kind of feel that way. I feel like it's just been so cemented as the P.I.B.A. round that it probably will be for at least a while. Maybe eventually it could be another name for it. But oh man, I think I definitely love calling it the P.I.B.A. round. It's just fun.
We'll have to check in with Inay on the P.I.B.A. round as he was going Rebels, had that spat for it as well. So once we get approach 4-3, we'll definitely want to jump over to that board. But for now, checking out Narkez does have the 4 Vanguard in, 2 Chrono, 2 Blaster. And we'll see what items you can grab off of this this Void Creature round.
Yeah, we'll see. I was actually taking a sneak peek for myself at Inay's stream today's board, and Inay chose to make a demolitionist item and not a rebel item, which is still good for rebels. You don't need the zigs in, I guess. You can have something else be demolitionist, but curious decision there. Regardless, though, Narkez leveling up to 7. Probably will fast 8 and roll for some jinxes. Well, Thieves Glovesing on these Darius for now. That's some decent items here. Has 4 Vanguards as well.
Yeah, gonna have a ZZ Rot portal and a Rod here for the Darius.
Yeah. ZZ Rot not bad for when it falls. Getting some extra beef in the front line there from that summoned minion. Fluffy there with those brawlers. Scouting around. Scouting a lot here.
Yeah, Fluffy again on the brawlers like you talked about.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if he kind of sticks with his brawler blasters forever. But yeah, like you mentioned, doubles on the MF.
MF Papega.
The best MF ult we've ever seen there. The bullet time.
No.
Not gonna really get it there, but. Maybe the next time it goes off. No, the Wukong gonna interrupt it this time.
I actually hate MF. MF feels so bad. It's like she was so good on PvE. It was kind of like, oh, you get MF and you win. She was nerfed from PvE, right? And I would still think she's a solid unit, but man, every time I've seen MF, at least in this fight night, she just looks so bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there just might be too much disruption. The fact that her ulti can get interrupted versus Gangplank, who just kind of drops it and gets the big explosion no matter what happens, does seem to make him just a superior unit, even if bullet time over the course of the duration would do more. It just doesn't matter because the speed at which Gangplank's ult comes out, that orbital strike just feels so much better, but Narkez going to take on Inay, already having a lot of rebels, has the demolition item on the Ezreal here.
Yeah, it's going to EMP and stun everything, I guess. Boom, AoE stun everything right there. Ezreal.
Yeah, that was slaps, actually. That was kind of good, actually.
Yo, that was kind of good. That kind of slapped right there.
That's a little clean from me. I mean, that guy's a... Yo, what rank is that guy right now?
Yo, he's rank 1 right now.
Oh, shit.
I guess we see why.
Ooh. It's kind of looking like a rank 1 play right there to put this demo spat on. I feel like if I was in that position, I would be just tunneled on getting a rebel spat. You know, it just makes sense in the comp.
First roll, level 8, Piva round. Inay gets a GP.
Oh,
It's as
oh
easy
my
as
god,
that.
this is so reminiscent of Piba though. This is like absolutely a Piba round with a Piba roll, and he's gonna find that GP.
Rolling for the rebels. Okay, gets the ASO there. Puts the MF and puts that in. Wait, he has. Okay, yeah. Wait, takes out Blitzcrank probably here. Oh no, doesn't need. Wait. Okay. I'm tripping. He's fine. He's chilling. Has the 6 rebels in. Has MF though. Doesn't have. Okay, probably will sell that later. Demolitionist charge goes in the Yi. I guess it's gonna be on the Aurelian Soul actually later. That Demolitionist charge.
Yeah, so the Yi is getting sold.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It needs to find another Ziggs though as well because these items are kind of trapped in the Ziggs for now. Wants to put those on the GP. So he needs to find another Ziggs and needs to find Aurelian Soul to be strong here.
Overall, his roll went a little bad actually. He did find the GP, so it's not really bad. Not really bad. Just didn't find a lot of the other things that he needed.
That's okay. This carousel is actually crazy. There's an Aurelian Soul, there's a GP, and there's 4 spatulas or 3 spatulas. Sorry.
Oh wow. Wait, that's. I feel like we gotta see who picks these up. Okay, Wrackle grabbed 1.
Yeah, Wrackle grabbed 1 spat. Doublezzzz grabs another spat. Who grabbed the GP? Where's the GP? Where's the GP?
Aurelian
GP's
Soul is
Narkez.
on Final DF. Narkez grabbed the GP. All right. But Inay actually could make a rebel spat as well soon. TA.
Yeah.
And I think that has to be what he goes for now at this point.
That'd be nuts actually. Another Yi here. Is continuing to roll 2 strikes. That's really good. Really good. Definitely will pick. No, rolls past it. I think that's a grief, but we'll see. Really just wants enough gold to roll the Aurelian Soul, I guess.
I think he's just highly valuing the gold for the roll down right now.
If he's starting the gold for roll down, then why make the Jinx do it? It has 0 items though. I don't know. I don't know.
I just can't think of any other justification to not pick up the double strike.
Sure. Double strike's like one of the best upgrades for GP for sure. It's like the radius, double strike, and then faster impact, I guess. I think that's all of them. But yeah, double strike is insane. MF has good items here though.
Oh, those are actually really good items. It's still not hitting as many targets as you'd like, but it did enough. It did its job. Taking out most of that board, but the Jinx actually doing a lot of damage there.
True. Jinx kind of farmed. We see Sphinx still at the top of the lobby here, though. Fluffy at the bottom of the lobby. Another MF. Man.
Items are kind of okay again.
Yeah. Man, Inay's like so healthy, though, but he's rolling down every turn. Kind of awkward, but really wants to find that Aurelian Soul, actually, for that Demolitionist spot. Sphinx is going for Cybernetics, it looks like, again. Wait, did Sphinx go for that last game? Or who was that last game that went for Cybernetics?
Narkez had it last game.
Yeah,
Sphinx was the other mech pilot, right?
True. Yeah, you're right. Does put in another Aurelia. Just needs an Echo right now. I mean, he's so healthy. Cybernetics is so good early game, actually. His win streak for so long. He's only actually lost like once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, Cybernetics does seem like the premier early game composition. It did look like it fell off a little bit in the previous lobby, but it's probably really good for top 4ing because it's so good early that you're going to make a ton of gold.
Still winning.
Fluffy's struggling.
Yeah, for sure. Narkez and Fluffy both on 20 HP right now. Finds the buy too. That's going to be really good for Sphinx Sphere. Lucian has the red buff, which is good. Has Ezreal in for Blaster and for Chrono. Seraphs is going to be on that Aurelia. Same with the GA though. I think Seraphs is kind of a bait item on Aurelia. Like, it's okay. She keeps casting ulti really fast, but she does anyway if you just keep auto-attacking. It's kind of like set 2, putting Seraphs on Kha'Zix. Like, in theory, it's good. He'll just keep casting his ability. But he also spends a lot of time just, like, ulting as opposed to, like, actually, like, autoing. I guess Aurelia, her ults are, like, her autos. It does...
Yeah, they proc on hit effects, right?
Yeah, they proc on hit, and it deals basic attack damage, but it still feels like there's other items that could be more valuable. If you're not putting 3 items on Aurelia though, then maybe it is still okay. Finds a Thresh there. We check in with Narkez. Narkez is 4 space power, it's the GP too. I kind of watch this for a couple rounds, see how this goes.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, let's see if he can farm some items. Actually, I mean, you look at his bench, and they have already farming a couple.
Oh yeah, it definitely looks like it. D-Claw on the GP, I guess. GA for somebody else. GA for the Wukong. Yeah, 4 Vanguards. What improvements does Narkez make to this comp actually from here? Is this just like the final? Like, okay, probably eventually.
I mean, it's not final, right? Yeah, the Pirates
it's not
get
final.
taken out eventually.
Take out the Darius eventually, and takes out the guess the Graves eventually for an MF plus something else maybe. Oh, that MF kind of slapping, but not hard enough.
Oh my god.
That was big GP damage. That's a lot of gold. That's an item.
Yeah, did you see? You got a full item. You got a Zephyr if he wants it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got yeah. Additional.
I'll take just a bonus Zephyr. I mean, that's fine. Like, you know, I won the round too. I'll just win the round, get a Zephyr.
I'm
take
trying
those.
I'm trying to think. Very similarly to how Fluffy played it last game, I believe it was. Like, is there ever a comp that's just optimal to play Space Pirates like from round, I don't know, let's say from round 4-3 to round like let's just say like 5-3, right? You play 4 Space Pirates and farm items, then you sell them off, and then you go your comp, right? Like you just utilize the extra HP that you have if you're strong early game and have an item advantage over everybody else, so that you can like have just a higher chance to win the game.
It has to be a strat that maybe isn't fully developed yet. It has to. I think so. It has to exist. It has to exist because it seems so good getting this item advantage. And yes, there's RNG involved, but if you can build a strong enough composition, like for instance the one that Narkez is running, then you can just farm items because he's not even losing rounds. There's no downside here. He just gets another glove for free.
He's actually so strong right now. I mean, GP2, like, you're probably not gonna have GP2 at this point in the game, usually, but larger cone, okay, skips that. What is he rolling for here, actually? Like, why isn't he going level 9? Wants the Lulu 2, I suppose, wants Jace 2, maybe wants MF2? But I feel like Narkez is strong enough to just be going 9 right now.
Yeah, he might just be too concerned that he's going to die in one round. It's like really fishing for upgrades.
Yeah,
but this seems kind of like more like a kind of a top 4 play to roll down a lot here instead of going for a top 1 by just kind of waiting on it. But going against Fluffy here, and we could see Fluffy go out.
I think so, actually. He can't find
the victory on this round, and yeah, that's going to be the GP ult coming down, getting massive damage, and Blitzcrank's the only one who's still healthy.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to be able to do enough damage, and yeah, that's going to be Fluffy going on in not an 8th, that's 6th.
Yeah, wow.
Long enough that 2 others fall before him, and that actually might be massive for the stakes of this game overall, getting a 6th versus an 8th. Wrackle and Doublezzzz going to go down.
Yeah, man, Wrackle, Doublezzzz, and Fluffy all going down same round. All of a sudden, Narkez's first pick here on this carousel. Talk about items, he gets another one of choice. What's he go for? MF, Blade Master? Nope, Trap Claw. Okay, not bad. It will stun MFs and it will stun Echoes. Actually, will it stun Echo? I don't actually know that interaction. We'll Trap Claw stun Echo once he gets out of his ulti.
We'll have to see, I guess, but it is very good if there are MFs in the game, of course, because you can put it on someone in the back, and as soon as the MF ults, she'll stun herself on the Trap Claw.
Yep. Final DF though, win streaking, and has mech pilot infiltrators, and I believe it was a tier 3 tier 3 Kaisa. Ooh, double strike picked up by G. Oh, that's a larger radius and double strike on that GP. Like, does this lose to mech pilot or infiltrators? I don't know. I think it might actually.
Maybe
Kaisa might
with
get like
the
one
tier 3
shot.
Kaisa.
There's no GAs here. I think it's just gonna die actually. Larger radius. Yeah, pretty sure Narkez beats final DF. I want to see that matchup, but we'll see.
I want to see if the health pool of the tier 3 unit's going to be enough. Because it very well might not. It very well might not be enough at all. But
double strike.
He seems very, very strong. As like you said, double strike.
Ooh, this Echo. I believe that's Sphinx's Echo.
Yeah, we're just gonna get the. We might be able to see the interaction of the Trap Claw.
True.
No, it's gonna break already. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this Echo just popped off. Like, this wasn't even close to Narkez. Oh,
the double strike, the way he farmed whole redemption there. Lost the round though, but
he barely lived and farmed a full item. So now he's got another extra item. So because of the Space Pirates, he's up like I think 3 full items at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's about right. Okay, it does sell off the pirates now. What is he rolling for though? Puts MF Lulu in. Okay.
We can't roll for anything.
No, I
Because
can't roll. I don't even know. Is this stronger? Oh, this might be weaker actually.
Getting baited by MF once again.
I don't know. Maybe GA or sorry, Redemption is gonna go on that Wukong there. Is gonna utilize the mana mechanic to give more mana to that Wukong, so he starts spinning even faster. Okay, it gave 2 chrono. No, it didn't give 2 chrono. You already had 2 chrono. I don't know. We'll see. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
Inay got the
actually-
tier 2 ship with double ionic and
Oh.
demolitionist.
Yeah, I mean that was a good Wukong ulti there, but it's gonna come down to can this MF pop off and
Oh
well,
my god, it actually.
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
did.
she can
Mostly
naturally. I
GP
think.
damage, but
Well,
they cleaned
true,
up.
true. I think you know we're just gonna try and give some credit to someone else, but you know, really at the end of the day, it was just the GP, and no, it is the
It's a
it
triple
is the
item.
triple cane, the triple item cane
Oh my god.
coming through.
Hold
Or
on.
Rost, I guess at this point. Kane is early on.
How many items does Narkez have here? Okay, so how many complete items? It's 1, 2. No, go back to your board. I'm trying to count.
7, 8, 9. 9. He's got
Wait,
9.
where are the? Oh, well,
No, because
okay.
Thieves close. Thieves close.
Yeah, wait. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
5,
10.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah,
And then
10.
3 more.
And then 3
13.
more. So 13 completed items.
If he
That's
can
kind of
defeat
a lot.
the Rost.
I mean, of course,
yeah,
of course.
it's of course gonna beat them. But yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. The
What are these
the
items even
triple
go
item
on?
dimension. One on
okay.
MF.
Oh, wait.
right?
I think that might have been misplay. Think should have slapped some items on the MF before he upgraded it. I mean, maybe not actually. Maybe this is fine. Just the Gunblade needs to go on it. I guess the Shivs don't need to. It does give extra mana, but not imperative to winning. Double Shiv Lulu. Okay, I mean that's a play. It is a thing that can happen.
Yeah, I guess when you're on 7 HP, you've got to put him in on somewhere, and I guess Lulu
Yeah.
just the best unit available.
Yeah.
Inay has those rebels and might still be looking to win this lobby, but of course running into something like Narkez could be scary, but this is going to be the mech pilot infiltrator. This is the fight you wanted to see. As we do see the Kaiser get in the back line, gets EMP'd. We'll see if this orbital can come down and take her out, but MF was also on her there, but now you know, this is the mech pilot still up, and it's kind of dealing a lot of damage, but it does go down before the orbital lands. Wait, but they dodged it, kind of.
Yeah,
they were in
have
iframes.
frames. Yeah.
Yeah, they were in iframes. Actually, that's gonna probably. It might give the round over to Final DF.
Oh,
I think it does. Yeah, it gave the round to Final DF.
Oh,
the iframe.
GA.
Can he pop out? Oh, he barely wins. Oh, Narkez stays alive.
Top 4, Magarky falls 5th place. We have our top 4 here. Narkez barely holds on. Man, if the GP Ultimate came out like actually a fraction of a second later, it would have been much more of a convincing. Yeah.
Over right then.
Ooh, Final DF though does have tier 3 Annie here. Had that last round, it would have been a Final DF victory. But man, has a Zeke's on that Ezreal, the Thieves Gloves right now. Should probably swap positioning there to get the most value out of it. Does recognize it, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, swaps it. Good heads up play there by Narkez. Facing Sphinx here, Cybernetics. Those echo items are insane, actually.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if Narkez can actually handle this. The polymorph though is going to be pretty huge. As actually, yeah, the echo's going to drop before getting to do too much, and looks like GP is going to be doing plenty of damage. And yeah, Narkez is going to keep winning these rounds, and he might make a run at first.
Ooh, Final DF actually goes out there in 4th.
Oh wow, his comp looked really strong too, but no, he's going to go down.
Inay, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Inay with the Rebels does have the Rebels spat. I believe.
Yeah, wait, his comp is insane. What the heck?
Let's go ahead and drop in on Inay if we get a chance as well.
Yeah. I'm curious. No Rebel spat, but Demolitionist spat.
What did he do with his other spatula that he got?
I guess I don't need it.
Made Infiltrator? Infiltrator
oh, yeah, that Infiltrator. I just saw it, yeah.
Yeah. Looking Inay here. Doesn't have the Infiltrator bonus, but still just extra attack speed for the Jinx, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he just got to the point where he's no longer getting components and just had to slam the item.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this looks really strong. The Demolitionist Aurelian Soul.
Yeah. He won that round versus the.
Oh, and Narkez went down.
Yeah. Narkez went down, man. To Sphinx. Cybernetics beat the GP. Wow, man.
This is the spatula dimension, I think, as we are seeing
So
a couple
many.
more spatulas come out.
Maybe it goes Infiltrator. We'll see. Sphinx goes Infiltrator here, actually. Inay grabs the Chop Claw. All of a sudden, we're down to our top 2 here. But both players may live for more than one round, though. GPs are available. Inay trying to roll for the GP2. If it's a GP2, I think Inay wins the game.
Yeah, but he doesn't find it. Needs at least one more round to search. It's going up against Sphinx.
That's Infiltrator, or not, sorry, not Infiltrator, but... Oh, wait, was it Infiltrator MF there? I think it was. On the side of Sphinx there. Or no, it's Kale.
Infiltrator Kale.
Alright. Inay on a 3-win streak. 1 against Sphinx's clone last round. Can he continue to win? The GP in the front.
Yeah, the Starship going around, doing a lot of damage. But yeah, there's finally the ult going to come off. It is going to kill off the entire front line. But in the back, we do have the Kale. But it does go down to the bullet time. And Echo's not going to be able to do enough as Sphinx going to drop very, very low.
Yeah, man, that was super close there. Sphinx actually almost won that round. And he doesn't even have GP2 yet. Going to be checking out Sphinx here. What can he roll for? Lulu 2 might put that in. Gets the chance. Oh, Inay hit the GP. I think it's Inay win now.
That's probably it. It's probably over. We'll have to see on this next fight. But yeah, GP2 is generally just kind of a game ender, as we've seen so far. Especially with the Rebel composition, which this may be the second time that Rebels grabs the first place.
Yeah, I think it might be. Cybernetics, proving that they are quite strong, but maybe not strong enough to deal with the full-powered Rebels here. Let's see how this next fight goes.
Yeah, just watching the GP, he has been slowed down by the mana burn of Thresh, but he does get it off finally, and it's going to just take out pretty much this whole team. The stuns in the backline under the Kale, and now she's going down to the bullet time as she tries to pump out all the damage, but it's not just going to be enough, and Sphinx is going to go down. Inay, rank 1 on the ladder and rank 1 in this game.
Yeah, no, that was
be grabbing a much-needed win for tonight's scores, and Narkez, though, staying very consistent. Going to end up with a 3rd place for himself. Sphinx also kind of fighting for these top spots, gets 2nd that time around.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at these scores in a moment here once they are updated. But keeping track myself of the comps that are winning. And yeah, it's been Rebels winning the games 2 times and Mech Pilot getting the other win. But we see Narkez, consistency. 3rd place there in that game, netting 31 points, but Inay is catching up here, only 4 points behind. This is one of those times where we're going into game number 4, and we don't really know who's going to win, Cass. We got Narkez 31, Inay at 27, and Final DF and Sphinx, not too far behind at 25. Only a 6-point difference between Final DF, Sphinx, and Narkez.
Yeah, they could make their way back into even a 1st place, and Fluffy could still fight his way into a top 3. But this has definitely been a lower scoring night for Fluffy in general. Just having a little bit of struggle finding his footing in this patch, but I'm sure he'll be back strong eventually, and maybe even just show up in this game to really prove that he actually does have a hang of it. It's just not quite to the level of consistency that we're used to out of him, but still, this should be an exciting final game, as like you said, we don't really know who's going to secure it, but Narkez does have a bit of a lead, so it is kind of his to lose if he can make his way to that top 4 once again.
Yeah, we will see. This is the last game. Fluffy, a bit of a disappointing performance here. Has kind of not only, it appears like tunnel on a comp as not traditional Fluffy style, but is getting bottom 4s with it as well. Maybe, this game can, like you said, secure the top 3, but it all comes down to this.
Yeah, and starting out with the Giant's Belt. We'll see what item he can pick up, if anything from the early on, but of course, such little gold early. We are
Poverty Galaxy.
in the Poverty Galaxy.
Getting a glove there as Fluffy is not offered any pairs here. Kind of feels bad. Picks up a Graves though. Picks up those blasters. Fluffy's going for it again. One Graves. He's already committed. Jinx.
Yes. So, anyways, he started blasting once again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
of course, it hasn't done so well. But maybe it is just the only thing he's really comfortable forcing right now.
I don't know. The hood's up. You know, Fluffy's hard chilling right now. Hood on. This is Dark Fluffy here. The tunnel visioning and one comp Fluffy. Not the Fluffy that we know and love.
I miss the old Fluffy.
Let's see. Maybe Fluffy makes redemption. Makes his redemption during this game. Has a sword as well. Couple of Sonas here, but a Lucian though. Yeah, there we go. There's Dark Fluffy.
Blasters.
Ah man, couple of Sonas there. I wonder if anybody, if they're going Rebels, would consider picking that up because it's a lot of gold investment for the 2 Sonas this early, but maybe. Unsure.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as amazing as of an early unit, but if you do find the 3 Rebels, it can be a strong enough buff.
Yeah,
up
for
in
sure.
the early game.
If you hit tier 2 Sona, you know, she does deal a large amount of healing as well. I believe her heal also cleanses as well if anyone's like stunned or whatever, or CC'd. If Sona heal comes out at the exact same time, it will heal. And 4 items, 0 gold. This feels so bad actually. When you get 4 items, yeah, Fluffy kind of just like, he's leaning back. Fluffy just checked out right now.
Yeah, he's looking a little checked out actually, but we'll have to see if that is the case.
He could play cybernetics here early game. Looking at that Fiora. Yeah, he's one arm back on the chair, one arm on the mouse. Fluffy's chilling. Alright, that's a red buff though that would want to be on the Lucian later, but unfortunately the belt is stuck on that Leona for now. Cybernetics though, does the sword or anything go? Maybe the glove goes on to the Fiora. Yeah, that's a Rageblade red buff on that K. Those are some really good Jinx or Blaster items there for doubles.
Yeah, we haven't seen actually any snipers at all today. No Jin, none of that. It's just a composition no one's wanting to go. And the Jinx for the early game for doubles. Obviously, those are just going to carry items for a little bit and then go off to something else. What Rageblade red buff? Is that also maybe looking like blasters?
Yeah, I think that's a good Jinx item. I think Rageblade's a really good Jinx item. Red buff, you can put on Jinx or another blaster depending. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the route that Doublezzzz is committing to right now. Really early to commit, but hopefully it will work out for him. Checking with Narkez here, who is leader in points, is running 3 Star Guardians with Sorks. Well, was running that, but lost the round and is choosing to sell, or at least not play them. Putting in 2 Vanguards of the Lucian in the back right now. The belt is on the Poppy, so it's kind of trapped on her for now.
It's stuck there for a bit because it is a tier 2 Poppy. Not going to be looking to sell that anytime soon. Gonna play a Zoe first time.
Yeah, gonna be playing 2 Star Guardians, 2 Sorks again. That's a GAIE TF. Those are some Shaco items if I've ever seen them.
Yeah, Sleepy Trouble Bubble going out onto the TF there, and yeah, this is world first Star Guardian Sork, I think.
Yeah, I mean probably at least for this fight night.
We haven't seen one yet.
I mean, I don't
know.
We'll
see if Narkez actually stays this direction, though. It seems like this might just be an early game decision.
Yeah, is picking up some rebels on the shop at least, not picking them up yet. Wait,
Back pilot available as well.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, mech pilot available. Probably not going to go with that. Is putting the Vanguards. Probably will put in the Graves over the Lucian. Actually, he wants to lose this round. I think that's why he's positioning this way. Wants to secure the lost streak and the better item from the carousel. Item of choice from the carousel. So Narkez with some 200 IQ, some 5-head thinking here in his transitions throughout every round. Going up against Magarky here, who's also running some cybernetics.
Yeah, Hand of Justice on Lucian. Roll damage here.
Yeah, pretty solid. Gonna be doing a lot. Takes out the Graves. I mean, Narkez's comp is just beef right now. It's not really damage. Mordekaiser's a little bit of damage, I guess. But
Yeah, but it might
enough.
just be too much beef for Magarky to get through, even with this damage rolled Hand of Justice, as this Poppy is just not having it. Yeah, Lucian tried to kite down, but not going to do enough, and
Kills a few,
Magarky's
but
gonna lose his win streak, and Narkez, maybe not what he wanted, but he will still be towards the bottom, and it's a three-way tie.
So it turns out how last game was a lot of spatulas. This game is also a lot of spatulas here. This is the quad spatula galaxy.
Yeah, we're back. We're still in the spatula galaxy, within the Fight Night galaxy, within the Giant Slayer galaxy.
There's a lot of sub galaxies going on here. What the heck? Can't keep track of all of this. It's like I'm playing D&D and trying to multi-class like 5 different things right now. Like,
it's rough here, but one spatula is going to get left on the table.
No one wanted it. Wow. Yeah, people. I mean, it's a one cost, I guess, but I feel like spat is okay. I wanted to say I feel like spat is so versatile, which it is. Obviously, you could get fawn, you could get rebels, or you could get protector, or you could get demolitionist. I think other spats, I guess, are kind of bad though. Maybe infiltrator spat or BM spat. Maybe not BM spat though. I don't think BM spat's really honestly that worth it. But yeah, people not choosing to grab that one. Only 3 people grab spats. I don't know. Maybe spat's not as a value as I really think that it can be. Maybe because I'm just a dirty rebel abuser, but that's probably it.
We'll have to keep our eyes on like what those spats go for, because last time it was very clear that the person who would want that 1 gold spat was going to be someone who was going for rebels, and of course Inay took that and he took it all the way to a first place. But now that there's a couple spats out onto the field, we'll have to see kind of where those go.
Indeed, I'm curious to see. We see rebels here, though, for Wrackle. The Hand of Justice on the Yasuo. Gonna be not doing too much here, unfortunately. Fluffy has indeed that red buff Lucian. Some cybernetics, and we'll take the round there. Fluffy was level 4 there, right? I think.
Yeah,
actually, I can't see. Yeah. But I believe so as well. Wrackle level 5, still losing, unfortunately for him. Vel'Koz picked up, or not picked up, but in the shop here, probably won't be taken.
Yeah, I know Sork's seen.
Yeah, I swear, I felt okay. So I believe a certain Mort Dog, right, says that Voids are good with like Void mech pilot, but I don't really know. I think Vel'Koz is a bad unit. I think Voids are not a good synergy. But I am curious to see if anyone will try to make that sort of route work. Probably won't happen in this fight night, but may happen in the future. Once if it's actually strong, because meta will be figured out over the course of the next next couple weeks. But for now, that Vel'Koz will not be seeing play, it seems.
Yeah, it does feel like a lot of people are going to stay a bit more conservative. It's more likely that we'd see someone like Wrackle or Doublezzzz, who's towards the bottom of the table, maybe attempt something a little bit more crazy. See if they can figure anything out. But for now, it does seem like everyone's playing really standard with what they know, with what they think the meta is so far. And yeah, I mean, we're just seeing a lot of rebels, a lot of blasters, a lot of cybernetics, and a couple of mech pilots. And that kind of seems to be shaking up to what the meta is for tonight and what it will be for this final game.
Yeah, I agreed. Wrackle there, has his rebels, but is losing a couple rounds. I mean, faced a couple of very strong players, though. We see Inay going static shiv, committing to that. Inay, from what I've observed over the course of tonight, is definitely not afraid to just slam items. Slam the Ionic Spark, slam the Demolitionist spat, and it's just making them work, right? He's bottom of the lobby right now in terms of HP, but if these items can find their way onto, I don't know, maybe like a Jinx later, or even a GP, I guess, the static shiv isn't bad because it gives mana. Maybe we'll see it really come to fruition. But doing that for a reason, obviously, so has a plan for them.
Yeah, I mean, shredding through the turtles here. They're Krugs, but it's something new. They're just no longer Krugs.
I just always
something else.
Yeah, I mean, technically. Oh, finds the 2 Blitzcrank actually. Probably put that in over something here.
Like Renaissance artists, because they look like Ninja Turtles.
True. What was I going to say, though? I just always call them the same thing. I just call them Krugs, Wolves, Raptors, etc. I call Kane the Dragon Round still. Even though it's completely different, but
I mean, he could be a dragon, you know, we don't know.
Hey, whatever he chooses to be, right? But Inay going to be trying to get some wins here. Does have a thick Blitzcrank in, you know, your favorite unit, of course, making its return in
know.
set 3 here.
Inay making me a fan. Tier 2 Blitzcrank already.
Yeah.
But no one's slamming items on their Blitzcrank, so, you know, I don't know.
I wonder why.
Anytime soon, but
No.
yeah, it was always the most fun I had playing TFT is always been just slamming a couple spell power items on a Blitzcrank, getting them up to tier 3 and just one-shotting people. But yeah, of course that is not a very good composition or thing to do.
Yeah, rolling at 6 here actually. Interesting. Oh man, I should be talking right now, but I'm just thinking. Why is Inay rolling at 6? What is he? Is he going Brawler Blaster? Maybe just not going Rebels. Actually,
yeah. I mean, he's on a couple synergies right now, right? Has the 3 Rebel, 3 Blade Master, 2 Chrono, 2 Brawler.
It's just like his items. I think are more Blaster items. Oh, buys the. I don't know. I'm confused. We'll see. Inay's big brain. Too big brain for me actually. He does get Zephyred though. It'll turn around starting the Ziggs.
The hook on his Ziggs though, and that's gonna be nice. Is the Yi will be able to focus fire probably the best unit for him. So Wrackle.
Yeah.
I was gonna say potentially gonna lose this one, but Yasuo does take down the Yi, and that's gonna be a pretty big deal. But the brawlers are just so healthy. Does look like Inay might still be able to take this round. Yeah.
That Vi just slammed the Yasuo. If Yasuo got one more OT off, might have won the round. But yeah, Vi doing her thing. That's a Kale. Those are good Kale items actually, but I'm not sure if he'll go in that route. Fluffy on a win streak though. Fluffy going for that little bit of a rubber band. You know, not quite the boo boo boosh, you know, first 8th, but going for the 6th to what did he get? Like 2nd in the
6th, 2nd, and a 6th.
Yeah, 6th, 2nd, 6th. Maybe we'll go back to 2nd or 1st here. He's running Cybernetics. Thieves Glovesing the Vi, pretty solid. Good items here too. Morello is actually, if she dashes through the whole team, will apply to everyone she dashes through. Ionic as well there to negate enemy magic resistance.
Fluffy's still hard chilling though, so
yeah, he's hard chilling.
See what he's going for, but yeah, it does look like it will be the Brawler Blasters once again.
Yeah, looking like it. Winning rounds still. I mean, red buff and Giant Slayer and Lucian, huge actually. Really, really good items. Taking out Narkez here, like pretty decisively.
Yeah, gonna do a good amount of damage to Narkez, but still early, and of course, all that damage being on the little legend nowadays, so not actually gonna be chunking him too low. Some of those strategies of like getting really strong and dealing an insane amount of damage to everybody doesn't really work so much anymore.
Nope, not quite. A little bit of a change here. We hop into this carousel here from Sphinx's perspective. Sphinx, I feel like Sphinx is always on the top of the board early game. Later on in the game, he kind of like sometimes starts to fall off though. Well, actually, last couple of games, he had some good placements. It was just the first game he kind of fell off and was 8th, but Sphinx doing pretty well so far here. He's gonna grab a tier from the Blitzcrank. Fluffy grabs the cloak, I believe. Yeah, does just that. Gonna be going into Wolf round soon, and then into stage 4. Some of these people are going to be, you know, going to that Peeba round. Oh, Sphinx does have the Shaco though. Yeah, those are the items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we see anybody going Rebels yet that maybe we should check out on 4-3? Well, there's one.
Yeah. Oh, the GP on 7. That's
Oh boy, so that's where we're looking for 4-3.
Yeah,
that's final DF. Yeah.
I think. Wait, maybe Inay as well. I don't know. I'm not sure what Inay is doing, but we'll see later on, I guess. Sphinx. Oh, Sphinx did make the fawn actually, so he has 7 units on level 6 here. Yeah.
Here we are on Inay as well, going to be fighting against Sphinx as we get word, but
he has 2 kills on the bench though. Well, he has no gold as well. I mean, he's Rebels right now. I think he might transition out.
We'll have to see with Inay, but since he has no gold, maybe that's not.
It can't actually go 8 on 4-3. It's actually possible.
Final DF on 4-3 and see what he decides to do.
Yeah, winning that round there is Inay though. Okay, Wrackle. Maybe a contest for the Rebels here. Getting word for that also. So,
So a lot of people
oh
contested
yeah. Wrackle's there. It has Rebel Spat as well. On that what's it called, Blitzcrank.
Blitzcrank, yeah.
Yeah. Couple of Malphites there. No Jinxes, otherwise it would be 6 Rebels right now. But middle of the pack here is decent HP to go fast 8. That Ziggs is the item carrier with the Seraphs. Seraphs wants to go in the Aurelion Soul later. Doesn't have a spare Ziggs though. That's one of the most important things. You like need another Ziggs to be able to replace that, because when you get Demolitionist with GP, you're gonna need that Ziggs in play.
Yeah, exactly. You need to get those items transferred. For now, we do see Wrackle should be able to take a couple rounds here. Does have the Yasuo with that Hand of Justice doing quite a bit of damage. And yeah, the hook from the Blitzcrank popping off.
GP. Mine's just GP only right now. I see Rebel Spat, I'm like, that's a GP. That's a GP.
GP everywhere, seeing the GP. He won a round, he must have had GP.
I just wanted to be GP already. I see Rebel Spat. I just wanted to do 1 million damage actually. But yeah, Blitzcrank with a good hook on the illusion to take that round win there.
Wrackle might be a good candidate to look at the 4-3 then,
Yeah,
because
I
he's
think
going to
so,
roll
I think
down 4 GP to see if he can find it, and we'll have to just follow along and see if he can once we get to that point. But for now, Inay, we'll see if he transitions out like you've mentioned. But for now, I mean, it looks like he's going Rebels. He's just trying to save up enough gold.
Yeah, I don't know. Had two kills on the bench, but chose to sell them. Ooh, these are good items for GP. The GA
Went to
though.
7.
What the 7 is rolling? I don't know. I don't know what Inay is doing. Actually, I'm really confused. Made a Cho'Gath too randomly. Maybe it's just Master E carrying actually.
Oh, what the hell is this?
Okay, level 7 hit an Echo and an MF in 1 roll. 1% to roll legendary. But
Does he ever lock that? I mean, he doesn't really want either of these. Maybe
probably
MF?
not. Wait, what? What is happening, guys?
I don't know. How if you can't explain this, how do you expect me to explain? Maybe just because it's chaos. Yeah, I mean, I am just a chaotic element, aren't I?
Oh,
But-
it's a GP. I like that. Let's see. GP. Boom. Bam. That.
Wow, that did nothing. What the? You see GP just slaughtering boards, and it's just like
Yo.
Inay's beefy lads in the front with 4 brawler, and it just did nothing for
Yeah, the
final
Brawlers,
DF. And Inay just dumpsters this round.
too tanky. This man has an Echo in as well. He has no synergies with the Echo, but it's just there. It's just chilling. He sold the Rebels. Okay, Inay, we can solidify one thing. Inay's not going Rebels.
I don't think Echo's doing.
That's crazy. We've made. Wait, he put the tone in. He's probably not going 6 Rebels.
Oh my god.
Probably not.
Yes, this is
Bro, we
I
just
don't know.
cannot comprehend the
It is-
brain on this
it
man.
is
This
the
is the
brain.
rank 1 brain right now of
Dude.
Inay.
So these Rebels are like or not Rebels, sorry. These Brawlers are pretty strong, right? They're almost all upgraded besides the Malphite. But he's just kind of a synergy bot right now. Besides the Rebel, he's a Brawler synergy bot. Facing Magarky here. Magarky going for Cybernetics, it seems, at least right now. This MF, though, huge ulti across the whole team
That's
here.
massive bullet time. Going to do so much here. And she's still pumping out a ton of damage because of these items. And
Yeah.
now it's just like, is it just an MF carry? Is that it? Like, is he just looking for tier 2 MF and the upgrades? And
Oh my, yo. Okay.
well,
This man
yeah.
rolled 2
Yes.
MFs at level 7. What the hell is going on in this game?
Okay,
I don't know.
4-3. This is Wrackle. We do need to go back to Inay at some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Like we have to witness this man.
Oh,
This
no,
is
he is? Okay. He leaves 20 gold to roll with, though. 20 gold's like not the gold you want. I mean, that's MF, but... Wait, is that just...
Yeah, I
he just
mean-
puts it in.
kind of underwhelming for the
GP!
the Rebel spat.
There's a GP!
Wait, he's got to sell for that. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he's
was
selling
probably too
something.
slow, right?
I mean, he either sells or locks. I mean, Wrackle's so high HP right now, he's chilling, but...
He can't sell the MF, so he probably locks, right? Well, he can sell the Kale.
Kale, I would say.
Yeah, he can sell
Wrackle-
the kill.
If Wrackle doesn't pick this up, I'd be mad. Okay, he locks it. All right. Final DF, winning the round. Level 8 as well. We're gonna see a carousel here. Narkez and Final DF. There's Aurelion Soul with the rod. That's super good for anyone going Rebels. That's
Yeah, it's
pretty
going to be
insane,
really
actually.
sought after. There's a couple of people that are going for it, so we'll see who ends up getting to grab it.
Final DF.
Final DF does pick it up.
What does Inay go for here? Walking around the middle, not knowing what he's doing. Picks up a Blitzcrank with a belt. Fluffy with the sword there. Fluffy actually pretty solid in this lobby, as much as he didn't know what he was doing in the early game, it seemed, or was checked out.
Seems like
62,
hard
you know?
chillin' is the play for Fluffy right now. He's doing quite well.
Actually hard chilling. What's Fluffy's board again? He was Cybernetics, and then... I wonder what he is now.
My boy's blasting is all I know. He's
True.
been blasting. He's going to stay blasting.
Stay blasting. Alright. Yi 2, okay. It doesn't need that extra Malphite, I guess. Sells the Ziggs. Sells that. Oh, wait, what is
GP's still not in. Jace has the Rebel spot.
Yeah.
Item just went on to MF.
Yeah, MF can get sold later, I guess. The Zephyr is just gonna go on whatever is trying to Zephyr that MF. Hopefully this... No? Okay, Zephyr's the... Didn't have anything in the very back, so maybe just didn't want to risk it. Wanted to have a good Zephyr as opposed to maybe a bad one. MF ulting a lot throughout the whole team here. The Yasuo, though, actually just one-shots it.
Yeah, this Yasuo might be able to carry off the rest of this. Does get cleansed immediately there by the Sona, which you did talk about earlier.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Wrackle will be able to take this round over Inay.
Look at Inay here. Yeah, it's just the MFs. He's just econing, going to level 8, I guess, and they're going to continue rolling. Probably for that MF2. Fluffy, yeah, has those blasters in there, actually. Not for brawlers, but has some good blasters, has some cybernetics in there as well. Still winning, actually, on 62 HP still. Doubles on a win streak here. Narkez has hit 6 cybernetics. Narkez is going to be strong as well.
I'm just curious what the end game is here for Inay.
I have no idea, actually.
Can you, because this set doesn't feel like it lends itself to just throwing in all the 5-cost units.
Not really. I mean, with Aurelion Soul and GP, I guess, like, kind of, that runs a Lulu as well. But that's, like, Rebels enabling it all. So it's not just, yeah, you throw them in and you're strong, right? It's you need things to enable them, kind of, which I guess is good. What's this, Fluffy here? Yeah, Fluffy taking the win against Inay.
Yeah, his blaster's looking really strong. Inay is starting to lose, like, a good amount of HP, so he's got to start to worry a little bit.
Yeah, after Raptors, probably will level and roll. Because we're almost there now. We see Wrackle with that Yasuo has a Runans as well. Gonna be taken out someone there.
Yeah,
Final DF MF too.
Yeah, one big thing to look at though is like Narkez is at 14 HP. He is currently the leader for Fight Night tonight, and
True.
if he drops early, that really opens the door for a lot of different players to have a shot at taking home first place this week.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we see Narkez here. He has 6 cybernetics, but he lost the last round. As Infiltrator on the Aurelia. That's pretty good, actually. I like that a lot. And has red buff on the Lucian. Solid, but the rest of the items, not really great. Hopefully we'll get a few items here that'll use. Gets a couple. Maybe can Relish the Vi and then put a tier on the Echo, I guess.
Yeah, Infiltrator on Aurelia does feel really good. She does so much damage, but if she gets stuck hitting like a big beefcake in the front line, it feels really bad. So being able to Infiltrator to get her into the back line does feel quite nice.
Yeah, turn the Echo, Morello's in the Vi. Boom, there it is. Echo gonna be benefiting from the cybernetic buff now. Man, after seeing how many items from the space parts last game, look at this amount of items. Just feels like, hey, where's all the items at for Narkez? But I mean, they are spread out. They are spread out a lot.
For cybernetics, you got to put like one on each to get that buff. But yeah, we'll see how this Aurelia can do going against Magarky. Gets in the back line, gonna try and pop off these blade surges, finds the reset, getting kind of CC'd by the Blitzcrank, gonna get popped up by the rupture, but the Echo going across doing a lot of damage, and finally Aurelia just trying to make her way over to that kill. It was doing quite a bit, but Magarky's gonna take a lot of damage. Narkez staying up. That's really important for him here, as Inay is going to take a big chunk of damage.
Yeah, Final DF has found everything, actually. Final DF has the Rebels with the Aurelian Soul and the GP. So, huge power spike there. Final DF just needs to hit the tier 2s now to pretty much be capped there. Narkez just rolling, trying to find more units. Final DF finds a GP in the shop and another Aurelian Soul on the bench there. That's going to be locked for here. Scouting around. That's a Rebel MF there. What the hell?
Yeah, a lot of the people who are in contention for first are at the bottom, but Sphinx is currently still sitting at the top, still looking pretty. Trying to maybe go home with another fight night victory here if he can slowly kill off some of the people at the bottom, and he's got a chance to go for one of the other contenders for that first place spot if he can take down a Final DF here. But Final DF is looking quite strong, but on the other side we've got the Shaco. It's going around with this Deceive, slowly taking people down, but it kind of jumps into that GP ulti and gonna fall into this Guardian Angel. But it does look like right now maybe Sphinx can take down Final DF. Wow. Is this going to be enough? I think it is. And yeah, Final DF going to get sniped down by Sphinx. And that's huge for Sphinx. That guarantees him a placement even higher than Final DF, who was another person contending for those top spots. And Inay has dropped down to 6 as well, who is another one of those major contenders.
Yeah, man, that last round, I feel so bad losing with Aurelian Soul and GP. You know, had Aurelian Soul on the bench and a GP in the shop there. Just wasn't healthy enough to be able to get that power spike. I mean, hey, we talk about, you know, the comps that are strong tonight. Mech Pilot Infiltrators, we see the power of that right there. Sphinx, boom, he's top of the lobby and will probably remain to be for a little bit here. That Shaco doing a lot of damage. The Mech Pilot be doing Mech Pilot things, being a really beefy body.
No.
Inay into Wrackle here.
This looks really deadly. The Rebels on the other side.
Oh, yeah, so
immediately to Yasuo. That's probably Inay falling here. He's just watching Magarky to see if he can maybe run away. Narkez actually barely beats Fluffy, which is huge because Narkez is going to stay alive.
Yeah.
They're going to drop out in 7th, which that opens up the door for more players to kind of move into this top 3, as Inay was one of the point leaders.
Yeah, Inay was in 2nd place, but 7th place here. He might even drop to below bottom 4. Bit of unfortunate performance from Inay there. Might go back to the solo queue grind now. He's out of here probably. But no, we see Narkez here trying to protect that 1st place. He's on a win streak here with his 6 cybernetics. Picks up that Seraphs as well. Might put that on the Irelia or the Echo. Probably Irelia, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes.
A little bit of lag there on the stream, but see Fluffy with the old blasters. Fluffy's blasting.
He's out here blasting for sure. The Jinx gonna be able to have that Trap Claw, Giant Slayer red buff. Really powerful Jinx in the back line. And Fluffy still very high HP, looking for definitely a top 4 here. So gonna try and protect his top 4 rate a little bit. It looks like, but even has an opportunity to push to top 3. Maybe make his way back to next week's fight night.
Yeah, hopefully. Fluffy's frontline kind of blows right now, though.
Yeah,
it just kind of falls over.
Well here,
and the Yasuo just snipes the MF. It was actually kind of close, though. Like MF 1 HP, Aurelian Soul 1 HP. Yasuo is pretty low there.
Jinx just does so much damage that Fluffy was almost able to stay alive. But yeah, he does need to find these upgrades for his front line. As really, like you said, all he's really doing is blasting. Doesn't actually have anything protecting those blasters. And that's what he's going to need to find to potentially take the victory here. But Narkez on this massive win streak, trying to be like, hey, this is my fight night to win, and I'm going to run away with it. As Magarky falls in 6th, and now, Narkez has made it to where he's getting closer and closer to that inevitability of a victory, as some of his closest competition has already fallen to the wayside. So now he's going up against Sphinx, really, as the main threat to taking the throne for tonight.
Yeah, we see this fight here versus Wrackle. Can Sphinx hang on, or can Wrackle hang on?
Yeah, we see the mech pilots on the side of Sphinx, and that mech getting a lot of damage out. The iframes as they come down. A GA, though, going to keep the Rebel MF alive for a little bit longer. Can it get burnt down by the Flame Spitter? And it will go down. Wrackle going to take a little bit of damage with Sphinx. Kind of keeping this HP high. Doublezzzz dropping down to 2 HP, and Narkez still hasn't lost, fighting his way up, saying, no, this is my fight night this time around with these infiltrators. Or sorry, these cybernetics.
Yeah, because a couple of infiltrators, that Aurelia infiltrator,
the spat is what I was looking at on the Aurelia, but yeah, the infiltrator Aurelia with the cybernetics.
Yeah, no, still super good there, actually. Aurelia jumping into the backline to start, is killing off some backliners, some squishy backliners very, very fast. Super, super good. I'm just super curious as to, in my mind, I'm trying to go over like the merits of Mech Pilot in this meta and say, like, is it better than Rebels? It did beat Rebels in one lobby, right? I think Mech Pilot Infiltrators beat.
Yeah, with the tier
Rebels.
3 Rumble, though.
Yeah, it did have tier 3 Rumble, and it was kind of high rolled, but still, the composition very, very good. And Sphinx is continuing to make it look very good as well. Sphinx undoubtedly going to be rolling for that tier 3 Shaco. Does, in fact, hit it there, as we see on the side. Yep. Found the Lux too, and then the 2-3 Shaco. I was just like staring by Sphinx's name, being like, is he going to find it? Is he going to find it? Yeah, he did. That's so strong, actually. That's so scary.
Yeah, I mean, if he hits Narkez, that's his opportunity to actually win the lobby.
Yeah.
No, Fluffy is going to instead. And Fluffy did find a lot of upgrades for his front line here. So we'll see if these blasters can do enough. As they are getting dove in the back line, but the Jinx is doing quite a bit. This is looking pretty close, but it does look like Narkez is still in a pretty okay spot here. Jinx is still alive, trying to get down as much damage as she can. She's going to proc down, and Fluffy is going to stay alive, but Doublezzzz living as well. So is Wrackle. Everyone's staying alive. Narkez desperately wants to dodge Sphinx.
Yo,
that is the way that Narkez loses here. But he has to survive one more to secure his victory. If he gets top 4, he secures Fight Night this week. But if he loses here and Sphinx gets first, that's where Sphinx has the opening. Yep. So Narkez so desperately wants to dodge Sphinx.
We'll see. It actually just comes down to who faces who right now. This is pretty insane. Looking at Doublezzzz here with the Brawler Blasters as well. Definitely want to keep an eye on Narkez and Sphinx, though. It's going to be Fluffy and Doublezzzz here.
Is it Narkez and Sphinx? That is the question. Narkez is facing Sphinx right now, so we'll see if Narkez ends up going down or if he can find the win, and if he goes down before anyone else.
It's going to be Doublezzzz.
Doublezzzz wins, though, takes out Fluffy.
Narkez losing, he's in 4th.
He's out, but I think fourth is all he needed. I think that's all he needed. As he gets 8 points, that will take him to 39, and Sphinx is at 25, so he can only get up to 38 with the first place. So all Narkez needed was to live long enough, and even though he did hit the worst case, he ran into Sphinx, and he did lose. Fluffy just couldn't hold on long enough.
Doublezzzz say, yo, I got you, bro. And killed Fluffy faster. Oh, man. All right. Doublezzzz, though. He was kind of trailing in points. Not sure Doublezzzz can make it into the top 4. Maybe he still can. Not quite sure here. Wrackle, though. Not sure that Wrackle can. Wrackle might be a bit too far behind, but still a good placement in the last game. Is a bit of a confidence booster there.
Yeah, Doublezzzz running into Sphinx, of course, not who you want to see on the other side. And Doublezzzz is going to go down here, going to get 3rd in this one.
I think both players are going down here. I think this is it.
Oh, he actually got 2nd. Well, and that's going to do it for that. This is going to do it for Fight Night, actually. Narkez going to be your champion here in the very first Fight Night of Set 3.
Yep, man, Narkez, your previous winner, showing that he's still strong and has a good grasp in the meta, top 4 at every single game, actually. That's pretty crazy. What comp won that game, actually? It was at the end there? It's Mech Pilot Infiltrators. Okay, yeah. So we have 2 Rebel victories and 2 Mech Pilot Infiltrator victories here tonight.
Is that the meta now? Is that, it seems like they're 2 very good compositions right now.
Because Mech Pilot Infiltrators does kind of counter Brawler Blasters, because the Infiltrators just kind of jump onto the Jinx or MF and just kind of kill them very, very quickly. And yeah, I mean, we're seeing the meta develop right in front of our eyes right now. really exciting, for me to witness all this. And of course, casting it, we both get a really good insight on this. So I don't believe we'll have an interview tonight because of technical thingamabobbers. But yeah, congrats to Narkez. Yeah, 1 point. Wow, Sphinx, that must feel really, really bad to lose on a 1 point there, just based off of Narkez
And they
dropping a little bit
same
slower.
round that they died too.
that's
I
so
mean,
crazy,
feels
actually.
really bad for Jinx. He had a great performance, but unfortunately, that 1/8 place held him back because he had such an amazing performance in the other 3 games. But congratulations to Narkez. We'll be seeing Sphinx and Inay returning as Inay does win that tiebreaker with a first place next week. But I will not keep you too long. Thank you so much for coming out here and casting with me, Khroen. I know you want to get back to grinding solo queue, grinding the new set. So we'll wrap this one up quickly. But thank you to all the players for coming out. Congrats once again to Narkez. And thank you all for coming through and watching. And we'll see you guys next week.